Hey, my little drowsy dreamer. Sleepy Toons loves you. Subscribe now and send that love right back. After such a heart-melting response on our classic cartoon lore series, we're back with another wave of pure nostalgia and comfort. It feels so good to bring peace and happiness into your world, one cozy cartoon at a time. Before we snuggle into today's story, tell me, where are you watching from? And what time is it? And remember, no matter where you are, you're safe, you're loved, and Sleepy Toons is right here with you. Okay, let's begin our first soft story, which is all about our tiny, trembling marshmallow, our sweet little pink, snoozy puppy, our cuddle bean Courage. He's the kind of dog who shakes like jelly, hides like a shy cupcake, and loves harder than the warmest blanket on a winter night. Before we start, my dreamy listener, put on something comfy, your soft socks, your warm blanket, your favorite plushie. Take a deep breath, and let your whole body melt into coziness. Sleepy Toons is here to hold your hand tonight. The night in nowhere began with a slow, gentle breeze brushing over the empty fields like a mother tucking her child into bed. The old farmhouse creaked softly, as if it was humming its own lullaby. Inside, Courage was curled up on a fluffy rug, his ears drooping like sleepy petals, his little body warm and cozy. Outside, the sky was a deep blueberry color sprinkled with stars. The moon hung low, glowing like a perfect nightlight, just for him. Courage peeked out the window with heavy, sleepy eyes and let out a soft, curious little squeak. Muriel rocked gently in her chair, humming a lullaby. Courage rested his head in her lap as her fingers stroked his fur with warm, gentle love. Everything felt peaceful. Everything felt safe. But then a soft whoosh, whoosh, drifted across the porch, not scary, not loud, just a sleepy sound like the night stretching its arms. Courage lifted his head, ears wiggling. Muriel smiled and whispered, "Oh, Courage, dear, it's just the wind settling down." But Courage felt something else, a cozy little calling, a whisper asking him to come outside, not to fear, but to wonder. He stepped onto the porch, the wooden boards cool under his tiny paws. The breeze wrapped around him like a warm hug. Out in the distance, a tiny, glowing light shimmered. He waddled toward it, his little legs wobbling like sleepy noodles. Fireflies floated around him, glowing like tiny lanterns guiding him. In the middle of the field, he found a single glowing flower, swaying calmly even though the wind had stopped. Courage touched it gently, and suddenly the whole field sparkled softly, like falling stars made of warm light. The night didn't feel scary anymore. It felt magical. It felt safe. Courage curled beside the glowing flower. Above him, the stars shimmered like they were tucking him in. The crickets hummed. The breeze quieted. Muriel's lullaby floated softly through the air, and Courage drifted into warm, cozy breaths as the moon wrapped him in its gentle glow. The night in nowhere was deeper now, quieter, softer. Courage, our tiny pink cuddle bean, slept beside the glowing moonflower, his little belly rising and falling like a sleepy marshmallow. The stars above twinkled lazily, as if yawning with him. But far across the field, something new stirred. Not danger, not fear, just warmth. A gentle shimmer, like a lantern swaying in slow motion, drifted through the air. It moved like a sleepy cloud, glowing pale gold, leaving tiny sparkles behind it. Courage's tiny nose twitched, his ear flopped. Once, twice. Then he slowly opened his big, round eyes. He didn't sit up quickly. He didn't panic. He just blinked, slow, heavy, like a baby waking from a dream. The glowing cloud drifted closer. Courage stretched his little paws, yawned the tiniest squeak, and followed it. The moonflower dimmed softly behind him, as if whispering, "Go on, little one. There's more to dream tonight." Courage padded through the field. The grass brushed his legs like soft feathers. Fireflies floated sleepy circles around him, like friends guiding him through a nighttime dream maze. As he moved, the glow in front of him brightened, shimmering like warm honey. And then Courage saw it. A sleepy creature, round, fluffy, shaped like a floating pillow, hovered above the ground. Its eyes were half closed, glowing gently. Its body pulsed with a soft golden light, growing brighter every time it breathed out. Courage froze for a moment. Not scared, just surprised. Then he tilted his head, letting out a soft, "Mmm." The creature drifted toward him slowly, calmly, until its glow wrapped around Courage like a warm blanket. It didn't speak. It just hummed a low, soothing hum, like the vibration of a purring cat mixed with a lullaby. Courage's little tail wiggled. His shoulders relaxed. The creature floated around him in small circles, almost as if it was drawing a sleepy pattern in the air. And then Courage realized. Where the creature passed, the ground began to glow soft, pastel light spreading across the field like a magical night garden awakening. Courage followed it deeper into nowhere. The farmhouse slowly faded behind them. The crickets sang their slow nighttime rhythm. The sky shifted from blueberry to velvet plum, rich and comforting. Then Courage reached a small hill he had never noticed before, one that only appears to those who wander the world gently. At the top of the hill, something incredible waited for him. A whole field of glowing moonflowers, hundreds, thousands, each swaying gently like tiny lanterns breathing with the night. Courage's eyes widened. The small golden creature float-swooshed happily around the flowers, its glow syncing with theirs. Courage stepped into the field, and instantly the flowers responded to his presence, each one lighting up a little brighter as if greeting him. The glow was warm. The air was soft. The entire field felt like one big blanket made of light and dreams. Courage lay down right in the middle, letting the flowers surround him. Their glow washed over his fur, painting him with soft blues and silvers. The golden pillow creature hovered above him, humming gently, protecting him like a night guardian. Courage's eyes grew heavy again. His breaths slowed. The night wrapped him in safety. He whispered a tiny, sleepy squeak, not to call anyone, just to say, "I'm okay. I'm cozy. I'm here." The hill hummed back. The flowers dimmed and brightened like a heartbeat. And Courage drifted deeper into a dream state, feeling more peaceful than ever. This was a place that only appears to gentle souls, and Courage, in all his trembling, sweet, loving innocence, was exactly the soul it was meant for. The night in nowhere deepened into a soft, velvety hush as Courage slept in the glowing moonflower field. The gentle golden guardian floated above him, its warm light pulsing like a calm heartbeat. Everything around him breathed slowly, peacefully, as if the whole world had decided to fall asleep with him. But dreams, soft, slow, floating dreams, were beginning to form around our tiny pink cuddle pup. The air shimmered. The grass glowed. And Courage felt himself drifting somewhere deeper than sleep, a place between dreaming and waking, where everything feels warm and weightless. He opened his eyes, but he wasn't in the field anymore. He was floating, not falling, not scared, just drifting, like a leaf resting on a quiet pond. Below him, the moonflowers glowed like tiny stars scattered across the earth. Above him, the real stars blinked sleepily, slow and gentle. And in front of him, a long winding path of floating lights appeared, each one puffing softly, like miniature clouds glowing with moonlight. Courage reached out his paw. The first cloud light drifted closer, bumping gently against him like a friendly nudge. It felt warm and soft, like a tiny glowing pillow. Courage stepped onto the path. The lights held him, lifting him, guiding him forward. He walked slowly, each tiny step making the lights shimmer brighter. The golden guardian floated behind him, humming its deep, soothing lullaby. The path led him into the sky. Up, 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 higher than the clouds, higher than the moon, into a quiet place where the night never gets too dark, only softer. Courage's eyes sparkled with sleepy wonder. He wasn't trembling. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't afraid. He was curious, soft, brave in the gentlest way. At the end of the path, Courage reached a floating island, small, round, and covered with the fluffiest grass he had ever seen. It looked like a giant pillow stitched by the stars themselves. Courage stepped onto it. The island sank slightly under his weight, hugging his paws with a warm, cushiony squish. He wandered further in and saw them. Tiny creatures round, soft glowing, sleeping inside little floating nests made of moonlight. Each creature looked like a tiny star curled into a ball. Some snored tiny sparkles. Some wiggled dreamily. Some hummed soft lullabies without waking. Courage tilted his head, ears drooping gently, mesmerized by the quiet magic of it all. One of the tiny star creatures opened a sleepy eye. It blinked slowly at Courage, then wobbled out of its nest, floating toward him like a drowsy firefly. It rested on Courage's head. Warm, soft, safe. Courage's tail wagged gently, a slow, cozy little wag. The golden guardian drifted beside him, glowing brighter, as if introducing Courage to this peaceful world of sleepy stars. More tiny creatures woke up, floating toward Courage like gentle bubbles. They circled him slowly, brushing against his fur, leaving trails of light like glowing strokes of a paintbrush. Courage felt a wave of calm wash over him, deeper than before. A warmth that wrapped around his chest. A softness that cradled his heart. The floating island slowly rocked. Back and forth, like a giant cradle in the sky. Courage lay down in the center. The tiny star creatures settled around him, snuggling close. Their glow made Courage's fur shimmer faintly, turning him into a little pink lantern of calm. Above him, a giant, slow-moving cloud floated into place, shielding him from the cool breeze, acting like a soft canopy. The night hummed. The island rocked. The stars whispered tiny lullabies that only sleepy souls could hear. Courage's eyelids fluttered. He curled into a ball. His breath slowed into the cutest, tiniest puffs. The golden guardian dimmed its light, settling into a watchful glow beside him. And the entire dream sky grew quiet, gentle, still. As Courage slipped deeper into a sweet floating slumber, surrounded by warm, tiny stars who loved him instantly, softly, endlessly. The floating island rocked slowly in a gentle cradle in the endless night sky. Courage, our tiny pink cuddle pup, lay in the center, curled up among the tiny glowing star creatures. Their soft light painted him in warm pastel hues, like a living lantern of calm and peace. Above, the stars twinkled lazily, blinking slowly as if watching over this quiet corner of the dream world. The golden guardian floated silently, its warm glow bathing the scene in a sleepy hug. Everything moved with the rhythm of breathing, gentle, soft, endless. But in this quiet, another tiny stir began, a delicate, whispery sound, like the rustle of silk sheets or the soft flicker of candlelight. Courage's ears twitched. His little nose wrinkled. He lifted his head, blinking slowly, taking in the soft shimmer around him. From the edge of the island, another kind of light appeared. Not the golden glow he knew, nor the tiny, sleepy stars around him. This light was soft lavender, shimmering like liquid moonlight, folding and flowing as if it had a life of its own. Courage's tiny paws moved forward, his heart fluttering in the gentlest, calmest way. He stepped toward the lavender glow. Each step made the floating island sway slightly, rocking him like a tiny boat on a calm, endless ocean. As he approached, the lavender glow began to form shapes, soft, misty figures resembling clouds, but with gentle faces and sleepy eyes. They drifted lazily in the air, weaving through the golden guardian and the tiny star creatures. Their movement was hypnotic, slow, rhythmic, like a lullaby made of moonbeams. One cloud face drifted closer. It extended a wisp-like arm toward Courage. He didn't pull back. He didn't tremble. He just tilted his head and let the soft lavender mist wrap around him, hugging him with warmth. The feeling was like sinking into a pool of the softest feathers, every part of him melting into comfort. The tiny star creatures gathered around, forming a gentle circle. Their light mingled with the lavender mist, creating a swirl of golden and purple glow that enveloped Courage completely. He lay down, letting the colors wash over him, making his fur shimmer and his heart feel lighter than air. Then the lavender clouds began to float in a slow, mesmerizing dance around him. Some brushed his tiny paws, some brushed his ears, some brushed the tip of his wagging tail. Every touch was soft, warm, and peaceful, sending little shivers of calm down his body. Courage yawned the tiniest squeak, curling even more tightly into the swirl of warmth. Above, the stars twinkled in approval. The golden guardian hummed its deep lullaby, harmonizing with the natural rhythm of the lavender clouds. The island rocked ever so gently, a cradle for the tiny pink puppy and his sleepy companions. A soft, melodic breeze drifted across the dream sky, carrying whispers of night songs, songs of quiet streams, rustling leaves, and distant, sleepy meadows. Courage closed his eyes, breathing in the warmth of the golden glow and the soft lavender hug. His tiny heart beat slowly, perfectly, syncing with the rhythm of the dream world around him. He felt safe. He felt loved. He felt weightless. And most importantly, he felt the gentle magic of nowhere, holding him as it always had, softly, patiently, endlessly. Courage lay nestled in the swirl of golden and lavender light. The tiny star creatures snuggled close like soft little clouds. The floating island gently rocked beneath him, a calm cradle in the endless sky. The golden guardian hovered nearby, its hum a steady heartbeat of reassurance. The dream sky around him shimmered and shifted, like soft watercolor paints blending into each other, deep blues, gentle purples, warm golds. Courage's little ears twitched at the gentle sounds, the hum of the guardian, the tiny whispers of the floating clouds, the soft rustle of his star creature friends as they adjusted in their nests of moonlight. Slowly a new light appeared on the horizon, a soft pink glow, like the first blush of dawn sneaking into a dream. Courage lifted his head, blinking his sleepy eyes at it. The pink light grew warmer as it drifted closer, curling and coiling like a ribbon of cotton candy. Curious. Courage padded toward the glow, tiny paws sinking slightly into the cushiony grass of the floating island. The pink ribbon wrapped around him gently, brushing his fur and filling him with a warmth that felt like the coziest hug imaginable. He yawned the tiniest squeak and let the ribbon lift him slightly off the ground. The ribbon carried him to a small clearing on the island, where a circle of tiny, glowing lanterns hovered in the air. Each lantern pulsed with a gentle light, swinging back and forth like they were breathing with the rhythm of the dream world. Courage stepped carefully between them, mesmerized by the soft glow. As he reached the center, the lanterns began to rise higher, forming a glowing spiral that surrounded him like a carousel. Each turn of the spiral released tiny sparkles that floated lazily around him, brushing against his fur, ears, and paws. Courage's tail wagged slowly, and he yawned again, his tiny body melting into the soft warmth. The golden guardian hovered at the edge of the spiral, humming a deeper, gentler note. The lavender clouds drifted lazily around him, brushing him with warmth. Even the tiny star creatures floated closer, their sleepy glow mingling with the golden and pink lights. Courage felt himself lifted higher, floating within the spiral of light, his little body weightless. The lanterns moved in slow, perfect rhythm, carrying him gently through the dream sky. Below, the floating island shimmered like a jewel in the endless night, glowing softly with the golden touch of moonflowers. A soft melody began to play in the distance, a lullaby woven from the hum of the guardian, the whispers of the clouds, and the tiny twinkling of stars. Courage's eyes grew heavier and heavier, and his little paws relaxed completely. He lay back in the spiral of light, letting it carry him slowly, gently, as though the night itself was cradling him. The lavender clouds curled around him protectively. The star creatures nestled in closer. The golden guardian's hum deepened into a soft purr, harmonizing with the lullaby of the floating lanterns. Courage felt every worry, every shiver, every fear melt away into the cozy dream world. He drifted, lifted by light, hugged by warmth, surrounded by love and safety. Each breath he took matched the slow rise and fall of the dream island's gentle sway. Each blink was longer than the last, heavier, softer, deeper. And in this magical space, Courage felt something incredible. He wasn't just safe, he wasn't just warm, he wasn't just loved. He felt at home in a dream that seemed as endless and comforting as the night sky itself. Courage floated gently in the spiral of golden and pink light, cradled by the lavender clouds and watched over by the golden guardian. The tiny star creatures nestled in closer, their soft glow blending into the warm colors surrounding him. Every shimmer, every hum, every gentle sway of the floating island made Courage's little heart beat in perfect calm. Above him, the stars blinked slowly, lazily, as if the universe itself had paused to watch over this quiet moment. The dream sky stretched endlessly, a soft canvas of blues, purples, and golds, dotted with gentle sparkles that seemed to whisper, "You are safe, you are loved, you are home." A new sensation tickled Courage's paws, a soft, feather-light breeze, scented faintly with moonflowers and night air. He twitched his nose and let out a tiny, sleepy squeak, curling up tighter into the spiral of light. The pink and golden glow seemed to fold around him, tucking him in like the coziest blanket imaginable. From the edge of the floating island, more tiny lights appeared. They weren't fireflies, nor stars, nor clouds. They were little fragments of dreams drifting lazily toward Courage. Each one brushed against him, filling him with warmth, comfort, and the kind of quiet joy that only the softest dreams can bring. Courage yawned, his tiny mouth opening into the sweetest little squeak. His paws stretched, then relaxed completely. The golden guardian drifted closer, wrapping him in an even warmer glow, humming the deepest, softest lullaby yet. The lavender clouds drifted down like gentle pillows resting softly around him. The spiral of light carried him higher, but it wasn't frightening, it was gentle, slow, comforting. It was as if the dream itself wanted to hug him, hold him, and let him rest forever in this peaceful, magical place. The tiny star creatures floated around him in sleepy circles, leaving trails of light that twinkled softly with each turn. Courage closed his eyes completely. His breathing slowed. Each inhale filled him with calm. Each exhale let go of every worry, every tremble, every flicker of fear. He felt his little heart sink into the lullaby of nowhere, into the gentle rocking of the floating island, into the endless warmth of the dream sky. Slowly, Courage drifted into the deepest sleep of his life. The golden guardian hummed its final note, a low, steady purr that resonated through the entire floating island. The lavender clouds curled tightly around him. The star creatures snuggled close, and the spiral of golden and pink light wrapped him like a cocoon of pure love. The night sky whispered over him, carrying the softest promise. No matter what comes, no matter where you go, you are safe. You are loved. You are never alone. And in that quiet, gentle, perfect moment, Courage slept, completely, utterly, happily. His tiny dreams floating alongside the stars, wrapped in the warmest, coziest hug that nowhere in sleepy Toons could ever give him. Okay, my little snuggle bun, let's start the second story. This one is about the mischievous, playful, and ever-curious little duo, our tiny gray furball Tom, and the clever little brown bundle of energy, Jerry. Before we dive in, make sure you're wrapped up in your comfiest blanket. Hug your favorite pillow tight, and get ready to drift into a world of soft laughter, gentle chaos, and cozy mischief. Sleepy Toons is here to carry you through every purr, squeak, and sleepy adventure. The sun was just slipping behind the horizon, painting the sleepy little house in shades of pink and gold. The air smelled faintly of warm toast and soft evening dew, and the little kitchen floor glimmered under the last rays of sunlight. Tom, the plump gray cat with fur as soft as a cloud, stretched lazily on the windowsill. His green eyes blinked slowly, as if he had all the time in the world, until his little whiskers twitched, sensing the familiar scent of mischief. From behind the kitchen door, a tiny squeak echoed the clever, mischievous Jerry peeking out, his round little ears twitching in excitement. He nibbled a crumb of cheese, his eyes sparkling with a playful glint. Tom's ears perked. His tail flicked once, then twice, a sleepy grin crossing his whiskered face. He slowly, carefully, started to move paws silent against the floor like a cozy little predator who wasn't in any rush, but knew exactly what he wanted. Jerry froze for a moment, sensing the calm before the storm. Then, with a soft squeak and a twirl, he darted under the table, the crumbs of cheese trailing behind him like tiny golden stars. Tom's eyes widened, but he didn't spring yet. He took a slow, gentle step forward, tail swaying almost like a dance. The sunlight glinted off his fur, making him glow softly. And so began the first gentle chase of the evening. Not fast, not chaotic, just a sleepy, playful dance between cat and mouse. The kind of chase that makes the heart beat softly, a rhythm of curiosity and mischief. Jerry ran under chairs, over cushions, and around the cozy kitchen rugs, leaving tiny crumbs in his wake. Tom padded carefully after him, softly bumping into tables and chairs, each step making little creaks that added to the soft symphony of evening sounds. The kitchen smelled warmer as the sun disappeared fully. The little oven light glowed faintly, casting sleepy shadows that danced on the walls. Tom paused, his ears flicking, as Jerry peeked from behind a jar of cookies. Their eyes met, a moment of understanding, a gentle acknowledgement of the playful bond between them. Jerry squeaked again and dashed toward the living room, leaving a tiny trail of laughter in the air. Tom followed, slower than usual, padded and careful, like a cat who wanted the fun to last as long as possible. By the time they reached the soft, plush carpet of the living room, the moon had risen outside, spilling pale silver light through the windows. It touched both Tom and Jerry, making them glow like little bedtime companions in a quiet, sleepy house. They paused for a moment, chests rising and falling softly, breaths mingling in the calm night air. Then, with a tiny twinkle of excitement in his eyes, Jerry squeaked again, and the chase started once more, gentle, cozy, and endlessly playful. The living room glowed softly under the pale moonlight streaming through the curtains. The gentle silver light kissed the plush carpet and the cozy armchairs, turning everything into a sleepy, magical playground for our tiny duo. Tom, the gray fluff ball with soft green eyes, crouched low behind the sofa, his tail flicking slowly like a pendulum. He wasn't in a hurry. No, tonight's adventure was about the long, gentle game, a slow, soft chase meant to stretch out into the cozy hours of the night. Jerry, the clever little brown mouse, peeked from behind the warm, wooden legs of the coffee table. His tiny paws twitched. He nibbled a crumb of cheese left behind from dinner, eyes glimmering with playful delight. The air smelled faintly of vanilla from the kitchen and the soft warmth of the carpet beneath their paws. Each movement echoed in sleepy rhythm, a soft tap-tap as Tom stepped forward, a gentle scuffle-scurry as Jerry darted. Jerry squeaked softly, a sound almost like a sleepy giggle. He zipped under a cushion, then over a pile of blankets, leaving tiny trails of crumbs that glittered like little golden stars in the moonlight. Tom padded carefully, one paw at a time, ears twitching, eyes following the trail. His movements were soft, almost reverent, as if he were savoring every second of the playful hunt. The moonlight made his fur shimmer silver in patches, giving him a dreamy glow. Jerry paused on the arm of a chair, looking down at Tom. His whiskers twitched. Then, with a tiny squeak and a gentle leap, he bounced toward the windowsill, sliding along the carpet in a soft, lazy tumble. Tom followed, slower than usual, tail swaying. He didn't want to end the game too quickly tonight. It was about the joy of the chase, the soft rhythm of playful companionship. The soft ticking of the living room clock added a cozy beat to the scene, mixing with the distant hoot of an owl outside. Every sound was gentle, almost melodic, as if the world itself had settled into a lullaby just for them. Jerry zipped between a pair of slippers, nudging them softly with his tiny paws. Tom's ears twitched in response. He crouched, then pounced gently, barely touching the slipper before Jerry squeaked again and darted away. For a moment, both paused in the moonlit room. Their eyes met Tom's big, green, gentle gaze, Jerry's small, clever, twinkling look. A silent understanding passed between them. No harm, no hurry, just playful, cozy fun. Then, with a tiny squeak of excitement, Jerry dashed once more, weaving through the furniture in slow, soft spirals. Tom followed, padding carefully, their chase stretching into the calm, sleepy night. The room seemed to hold its breath with every soft paw step and tiny squeak, the quiet of the night wrapping them in gentle warmth. The moonlight spilled into the kitchen, casting sleepy silver beams across the wooden floor. The air was warm from the day's baking, tinged with faint vanilla and butter, mixing perfectly with the soft hush of nighttime. Tom stretched luxuriously on the cool tile, his gray fur glowing softly in the moonlight. He twitched his ears and flicked his tail slowly, not in a hurry, just savoring the quiet tension of the night. Somewhere behind the pantry door, Jerry peeked, tiny paws gripping the edge, whiskers quivering with anticipation. With a gentle squeak, Jerry darted forward, sliding along the countertop, leaving a trail of crumbs behind him like a delicate sprinkle of stardust. Tom's eyes followed, half-lidded but attentive, each paw step soft and measured. Jerry paused by the rolling pin, then hopped onto a soft kitchen towel, sending it fluttering gently. Tom patted closer, ears swaying like sleepy pendulums. Their movements were slow, deliberate, almost like a dance, a cozy, playful ballet in the quiet kitchen. A soft breeze drifted through the open window, carrying the scent of evening flowers and warm night air. It ruffled Jerry's tiny fur and brushed Tom's whiskers, adding to the gentle rhythm of their chase. Jerry darted down toward the cookie jar, his tiny claws making almost imperceptible taps against the floor. He peeked up at Tom, eyes twinkling with clever mischief. Tom crouched, tail swishing, careful not to make too much noise. Every soft step created a heartbeat of suspense, the kind that makes you smile quietly under a blanket. Jerry squeaked and spun around the sugar bowl, then dashed under the table, dragging a small napkin along. Tom padded slowly after him, gently nudging the napkin with a paw, making it flutter in slow, cozy waves. From the corner of the kitchen, the dim light of the refrigerator flickered softly, casting gentle shadows that danced along with the duo. The tiny reflections off the floor tiles made the chase feel like it was happening in a magical, glowing world. Jerry climbed a stack of plates, balancing carefully, tail twitching in perfect rhythm. Tom padded underneath, eyes following his every move, moving in slow, sleepy anticipation. No crashes, no chaos, just soft, measured, playful tension that filled the kitchen with cozy excitement. For a long stretch, they circled each other in gentle loops, weaving between chairs, sliding along rugs, and nudging soft objects with a careful pause. Each squeak, each swish, each tiny movement felt like a whisper of magic in the night. Finally, Jerry paused on the countertop, looking down at Tom. For a moment, they simply stared at each other, breathing quietly, sharing the soft joy of their endless, gentle rivalry. The kitchen hummed with peace and playful energy. Tom blinked slowly, yawned softly, and took a small, measured step toward Jerry. Jerry squeaked faintly in delight and leapt onto a cozy pile of towels. Tom followed, the two of them moving together in a rhythm so gentle, so warm, it felt like the perfect bedtime story coming to life. The living room glimmered under the soft moonlight, casting sleepy silver shadows over the plush carpet and cozy armchairs. The faint ticking of the clock blended with the occasional rustle of curtains, creating the perfect lullaby rhythm for our tiny gray fluffball and his clever little brown companion. Tom stretched lazily, his soft paws pressing into the carpet. His green eyes blinked slowly, following Jerry's tiny movements as the little mouse peeked from behind the sofa. Jerry twitched his ears and whiskers, sizing up his sleepy opponent, then darted out with a gentle squeak that sounded almost like a giggle. Tom padded after him carefully, tail swishing softly, Not wanting to rush tonight's fun was all about slow, cozy play. Jerry zipped around the furniture, sliding under tables and hopping over cushions, leaving little trails of crumbs that glittered faintly in the moonlight. A gentle breeze drifted through the open window, brushing Tom's fur and ruffling Jerry's tiny ears. The scent of evening flowers mixed with the warmth of the carpet, creating the softest, most peaceful atmosphere for their playful antics. Jerry climbed onto the arm of the sofa and peeked down at Tom. Tom crouched, eyes half-lidded, tail flicking lazily. He wasn't rushing. He was savoring the slow rhythm of the chase. With a soft leap, Jerry glided onto a pile of pillows, landing with a gentle thump. Tom followed, his paws sinking slightly into the plush softness as he padded carefully after him. From the corner of the living room, the lamp cast a warm, golden glow that mingled with the silver of the moonlight. Shadows danced softly along the walls, creating tiny secret tunnels and hideaways that Jerry used to his advantage. Tom's ears twitched as he followed, moving like a soft whisper across the carpet. Jerry squeaked softly, bouncing on a pillow and sending a tiny feather floating into the air. Tom batted it gently with his paw, watching it drift lazily to the ground. The little interactions were slow, tender, and playful, a quiet ballet of mischief and gentle fun. The two circled each other in soft spirals, weaving between the furniture, nudging cozy objects with tiny paws. Every squeak, every rustle, every flick of the tail was part of the soft melody of the night. Finally, Jerry paused atop the tallest cushion, looking down at Tom. Tom blinked slowly, then yawned a tiny, soft yawn, and padded closer, his whiskers twitching with sleepy curiosity. Jerry squeaked faintly in excitement, hopping gently from cushion to cushion. For a long stretch, they simply moved together in slow, gentle rhythm, the moonlight painting them in silvers and grays, the warm glow of the lamp bathing them in gold. The room was alive with a soft motion, soft sounds, and the kind of gentle tension that makes the night feel endless and magical. At terme, the hallway stretched quietly under the soft glow of the moonlight spilling through the windows. The carpet muffled every tiny paw step, making the room feel like a soft, magical tunnel just for Tom and Jerry. Tom, the gray fluff ball, crouched low, tail swaying lazily, eyes half-lidded in calm focus. He could see Jerry peeking from behind a wooden railing, tiny whiskers quivering with excitement. With a sleepy twitch of his ears, Tom began to pad forward, slow, careful, savoring every moment of the gentle chase. Jerry squeaked softly, darting along the wall, pausing occasionally to knock over a tiny stack of books. They toppled with a muted thud, adding a soft, rhythmic percussion to the night's melody. Tom padded after him, weaving between the fallen books, ears twitching with mild anticipation. A warm breeze drifted through the hallway from an open window, brushing against Tom's fur and ruffling Jerry's tiny tail. The air smelled faintly of evening flowers and warm wood polish, wrapping the entire scene in cozy, sleepy comfort. Jerry hopped onto a soft hallway rug, sliding gently along it like a tiny brown comet. Tom followed, moving carefully so as not to disturb the soft fibers, his paws sinking slightly with each step. The chase was slow, playful, and mesmerizing, a delicate dance of light and shadow. From the corner of the hallway, the faint glow of a nightlight cast golden circles across the carpet, creating little islands of warmth that Jerry darted between. Tom padded from one glowing spot to another, eyes tracking every tiny movement, tail swishing in lazy rhythm. Jerry squeaked again, hopping onto a low side table. Tom's green eyes widened slightly, ears flicking, but he didn't rush. He took a slow, deliberate step, enjoying the gentle game. Jerry spun in place, then slid onto a soft stack of towels which sank slightly under his weight. Tom followed, his paws pressing softly into the pile, creating tiny, muffled thumps. The hallway seemed to stretch endlessly in the silver glow of moonlight, filled with soft shadows that moved gently with every tiny action. Each squeak, each swish, each soft pat of a paw created a gentle rhythm, lulling the room into a sleepy, magical melody. For a long while they circled each other, weaving in and out of soft rugs and piles of blankets. The clock ticked slowly like a heartbeat, and the night hummed a soft, continuous lullaby around them. Finally, Jerry paused at the end of the hallway, peeking around the corner with tiny, twinkling eyes. Tom crouched low, ears twitching, tail flicking lazily. With a soft squeak, Jerry darted away, and Tom followed in slow pursuit, their playful rhythm continuing like a gentle bedtime dance. The bedroom glowed softly under the gentle spill of moonlight through the curtains, turning the familiar furniture into a dreamy playground. The soft carpet muffled every tiny paw step, and the warm scent of linens and a hint of lavender wrapped the room in cozy comfort. Tom, our gray fur ball, stretched luxuriously on the floor, tail curling lazily. His ears twitched as he caught a glimpse of Jerry peeking from behind the bedpost, whiskers quivering with quiet excitement. With a soft, sleepy twitch, Tom padded forward slowly, savoring every moment of the gentle chase. Jerry squeaked, darting across the bed, his tiny paws barely making a sound on the soft sheets. He paused to peek at Tom, eyes twinkling with playful mischief before hopping onto the pillows, leaving the slightest puff of feather dust floating in the air. Tom followed carefully, tail swaying gently, moving with soft, precise steps. The moonlight painted silver highlights across his fur, and each movement seemed part of a delicate, sleepy dance. Jerry zipped across the bedspread again, rolling and tumbling, leaving trails of laughter and tiny squeaks behind him. A gentle breeze drifted in through the slightly open window, carrying the cool night air mixed with the soft scent of flowers from outside. It brushed Tom's fur and ruffled Jerry's tiny ears, adding a slow, rhythmic motion to the chase. Jerry leapt from one pillow to another, his small body bouncing like a tiny brown cloud. Tom padded after him carefully, sinking slightly into the plush softness, enjoying the quiet rhythm of the evening. Every tiny squeak and soft thump became part of a gentle lullaby filling the room. The bedspread shifted slightly under their paws, creating little valleys and hills in the soft fabric. Jerry scurried around them, peeking from behind folds, while Tom followed slowly, swishing his tail in calm, measured rhythm. From the corner of the bedroom, the nightlight cast a gentle golden glow, blending with the silver moonlight. The two of them moved through the soft mix of shadows and light, weaving in and out, climbing pillows and sliding down folds of the blanket. For a long stretch, they continued their gentle chase, moving in slow, playful circles, the bedroom alive with the soft, cozy magic of their mischief. Each squeak, each soft thump, and each tiny paw step created a comforting rhythm that filled the room with warmth. Finally, Jerry paused at the edge of the bed, peeking at Tom. Tom blinked slowly, yawned a tiny, soft yawn, and padded closer, whiskers twitching in gentle curiosity. Jerry squeaked faintly and hopped onto a plush pillow, curling up slightly, and Tom followed, settling beside him carefully. The hallway stretched softly under the gentle moonlight, silver beams spilling across the carpet and reflecting off the smooth wooden banister. The house was quiet, every creak muted in the calm of the night, leaving only the soft sounds of tiny paws and whispered squeaks to fill the air. Tom crouched low near the end of the hallway, his green eyes glowing softly in the moonlight. His tail swayed gently, ears twitching to the faintest whisper of movement. Jerry peeked from behind a hallway plant, tiny paws gripping the pot's edge. He squeaked softly, almost like a sleepy giggle, and darted forward. Tom padded after him, careful and slow, his paws sinking slightly into the plush carpet. The night was long and lazy, and tonight's chase was meant to stretch out slow, cozy, and filled with a gentle mischief. Jerry zigzagged along the hallway, sliding under a small table, leaving a trail of crumbs that glittered faintly in the soft light. The walls seemed alive with the shadow play, moving with the soft rhythm of the chase. Each squeak from Jerry, each careful step from Tom, blended into a soothing melody that wrapped the hallway in warm, magical comfort. Jerry climbed onto a low shelf, peeking over at Tom with twinkling eyes. Tom crouched, whiskers twitching, and took one slow, deliberate step forward, then another. His paws made the softest tap-tap sound on the carpet, harmonizing with the distant tick of the hallway clock. A gentle draft from an open window brushed past, lifting Tom's fur and ruffling Jerry's tiny ears. The scent of night air mixed with the faint aroma of polished wood, filling the hallway with a calm, sleepy warmth. Jerry squeaked and hopped down, sliding behind a small armchair. Tom padded closer, ears flicking lazily, following the faint shimmer of movement. The chase moved like a slow dance, with pauses and gentle swirls, each moment stretching into a cozy rhythm. The little mouse then bounced onto a soft pile of rugs, sending tiny threads floating into the air. Tom followed carefully, paw by paw, whiskers twitching, eyes soft and alert. The rugs shifted slightly, creating tiny valleys and hills for their playful exploration. They circled around each other in lazy loops, weaving through shadows and golden spots of light from a nightlight at the far end of the hallway. Every squeak, every soft brush of paw against carpet added to the gentle symphony of their nighttime play. Finally, Jerry paused on the edge of a soft rug, tail twitching, peeking at Tom with sleepy excitement. Tom blinked slowly, yawned a tiny, soft yawn, and padded closer, whiskers quivering in anticipation. Jerry squeaked faintly, hopping to a warm patch of moonlight on the floor, and Tom followed, settling beside him carefully. The kitchen glimmered softly under the moonlight streaming through the window, silver beams reflecting off the countertop and casting long, sleepy shadows. The faint hum of the refrigerator mixed with the soft rustle of the curtains, creating the perfect lullaby for our tiny duo. Tom, the gray fluff ball, stretched lazily near the pantry, his green eyes glowing softly. His tail flicked gently, ears twitching, as he detected a familiar movement, the mischievous little Jerry peeking out from behind a stack of plates. Jerry squeaked softly, darting forward across the counter, leaving a tiny trail of crumbs that glittered faintly like golden stars. Tom padded after him, soft paws pressing gently against the smooth floor, moving slowly, savoring every second of the gentle chase. A warm breeze drifted through the open window, brushing past Tom's fur and ruffling Jerry's tiny ears. The faint scent of vanilla from the kitchen mixed with the cool night air, wrapping the scene in cozy, sleepy warmth. Jerry leapt onto a soft pile of dish towels, sliding gently down onto the floor with a tiny squeak. Tom followed carefully, tail swaying, paws sinking slightly into the softness of the towels. Every movement was slow, deliberate, and playful, a gentle ballet of nighttime mischief. From the corner of the kitchen, the dim glow of the oven light cast golden circles across the floor. Jerry darted between them, weaving through the patches of light, while Tom followed softly, careful not to disturb the cozy rhythm of the night. The duo continued their soft dance, circling around the kitchen chairs, nudging soft objects with their tiny paws, and creating gentle echoes of squeaks and thumps that filled the room with sleepy music. A tiny feather floated from the counter as Jerry brushed past it, spinning it lazily in the air. Tom batted it gently, watching it drift down like a slow, delicate snowflake. The room seemed to hold its breath with every movement, every squeak, every soft shuffle of paws. Finally, Jerry paused on a soft kitchen mat, peeking back at Tom. Tom blinked slowly, yawned softly, and padded closer, whiskers twitching. Jerry squeaked faintly, hopping onto a warm patch of moonlight on the floor, and Tom followed, settling beside him with gentle precision. The living room was bathed in soft silver moonlight, casting sleepy shadows over the plush carpet and gentle folds of blankets draped over the furniture. The faint ticking of the clock echoed like a calm heartbeat, adding to the magical rhythm of the night. Tom, the gray fluff ball, stretched on the carpet, tail curling lazily, his green eyes half closed in calm anticipation as he caught sight of Jerry peeking from behind the sofa. Jerry twitched his ears, whiskers quivering, then squeaked softly and darted out with the gentlest flick of movement. Tom padded after him slowly, each step soft and deliberate, sinking slightly into the plush carpet. Jerry zipped under the armchair, then around the coffee table, leaving tiny traces of crumbs like golden sparks in his wake. The two moved with quiet rhythm, their playful energy subdued and soothing in the gentle moonlight. The soft glow of a floor lamp mixed with the silver moonlight, creating pools of warmth and silver along their path. Jerry leapt atop a pile of cushions, bouncing softly, and Tom followed, padding carefully after him. The movement of their paws created tiny thumps that blended into a soft lullaby of gentle sounds. A slight breeze drifted through the open window, ruffling Jerry's ears and brushing against Tom's fur, carrying the faint scent of evening flowers. Every tiny squeak, every gentle leap, every soft paw step felt like part of a slow, magical dance. Jerry slid down a cushion, rolling lazily across the carpet. Tom padded forward carefully, whiskers twitching, tail swaying in sleepy rhythm. The living room became their cozy playground, each shadow and light pool creating new paths and little hideaways for gentle exploration. For a long while they circled around, weaving between furniture and piles of blankets. Every movement was slow, deliberate, playful, and soft, a dance of companionship, mischief, and warm, sleepy comfort. Finally, Jerry paused atop a soft rug, tail flicking, eyes sparkling faintly in the moonlight. Tom blinked slowly, yawned softly, and padded closer, whiskers quivering with quiet affection. Jerry squeaked softly, hopping onto a warm patch of light from the floor lamp, and Tom settled beside him with care. The house was bathed in a gentle silver glow, and the soft moonlight spilling through the windows and painting everything in calm, sleepy shades. The faint hum of the refrigerator, the distant tick of the clock, and the quiet rustle of curtains created a lullaby that filled the air. Tom, the gray fluff ball, stretched lazily on the carpet, tail curling around his body. His green eyes were heavy, blinking slowly as he watched Jerry peek from behind a stack of pillows. Jerry twitched his tiny ears and whiskers, then squeaked softly and hopped onto a soft blanket. Tom padded closer slowly, careful with every step, paws sinking softly into the plush carpet. Jerry's tiny squeaks became quiet little giggles as he rolled onto his back, stretching and nudging a pillow with his tiny paws. Tom's tail swished slowly as he settled down beside him, careful not to disturb the cozy rhythm of the night. A soft breeze drifted through the window, ruffling Tom's fur and Jerry's tiny ears. The scent of night flowers mixed with the warm blankets, wrapping them in sleepy warmth. Each small movement, a paw shift, a whisker twitch, a tiny squeak felt like part of the gentle music of the night. The floor lamp cast a soft golden glow that mingled with the silver moonlight. Shadows danced lazily across the walls, creating tiny islands and paths for their imagination. Jerry nestled into a pile of blankets, tail curling around his body, and Tom mirrored him, laying down carefully, his soft green eyes closing slowly. For a long while they rested side by side, small hearts beating gently in rhythm, bodies warm and soft, ears flicking occasionally at the tiniest sounds of the house. The room was alive with calm, quiet, and playful comfort, the kind that only a night of gentle mischief and companionship could bring. The moonlight shimmered across their fur, silver and gray blending with tiny flashes of warm golden light. Tom yawned a tiny, soft yawn, whiskers twitching in sleep, while Jerry squeaked faintly in a final stretch before curling up completely. The night seemed to sigh around them, folding the house into quiet, gentle peace. Each soft paw step, each tiny squeak, each movement from earlier in the night melted away into the calm rhythm of rest. "All right, my little snuggle bun. It's time for the third story. This one is about our tiny, mischievous, and oh-so-adorable Baby Looney Tunes." The sun had just begun to peek over the horizon, spilling soft, golden light across the cozy nursery where the Baby Looney Tunes were waking from their peaceful slumber. The gentle rays danced across the pastel-colored walls, painting everything in warm, sleepy shades of pink, yellow, and lavender. Baby bugs. Bunny stretched his tiny arms above his head, little ears flopping softly as he blinked open his big, curious eyes. Baby Daffy Duck let out a tiny quack, yawning the smallest squeak that sounded like a lullaby in itself. Tweety chirped softly from his crib, tiny feathers fluttering in the morning light, while baby Sylvester purred quietly, snuggling into his blanket. The nursery smelled faintly of baby lotion, warm blankets, and the sweetness of fresh morning air drifting through the open window. Each tiny laugh, squeak, and coo blended together into a symphony of pure, gentle happiness. Baby bugs hopped gently across the soft carpet, tiny feet making muffled pat-pat sounds. He peeked behind a crib where Tweety was hiding, his tiny eyes sparkling with mischief. "Hey," Bugs whispered softly, "let's play a gentle game." Daffy waddled after Bugs, flapping his little wings slowly, squeaking excitedly but carefully, the kind of playful energy that didn't rush, only floated in soft, cozy waves. Sylvester rolled over on the plush rug, watching the others with sleepy green eyes that twinkled with curiosity. The morning light spilled across a soft pile of toys, blocks, and tiny cushions. Bugs nudged a block gently, sending it rolling toward Daffy, who squeaked softly and batted it back with his wing. Tweety hopped along in a circle, feathers catching the sun's golden glow, while Sylvester purred a tiny rumble, settling near a patch of warmth on the carpet. From the corner, a gentle breeze rustled the curtains, carrying the faint scent of morning flowers and soft grass. Each tiny giggle, squeak, and shuffle of little paws or wings felt like a note in a lullaby, soothing the room in calm, magical rhythm. Bugs climbed atop a small cushion and looked down at the others. "Peek-a-boo," he squeaked softly. Daffy flapped his wings in delight, Tweety chirped with a tiny squeak, and Sylvester batted gently at a soft toy that had rolled near him. The light of morning grew warmer, golden and soft, wrapping every tiny creature in a gentle hug. Baby Looney Tunes moved slowly, carefully, enjoying the small adventures of the nursery building towers of blocks, gently rolling balls, playing hide-and-seek behind cushions, and chasing soft shadows in the morning light. The morning light grew a little brighter, spilling golden warmth across the nursery. The soft pastel walls glowed, and the gentle hum of tiny giggles and coos filled the room like a lullaby. Baby bugs. Bunny hopped over to a soft pile of blocks, nudging one gently with his tiny paw. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, flapping his little wings softly, squeaking with excitement, but moving slowly, savoring each playful moment. Tweety hopped along the carpet, chirping a soft tune that mingled perfectly with the calm rhythm of the room. Baby Sylvester purred quietly from his corner, rolling over on a soft rug and watching the others with sleep-curious eyes. A gentle breeze drifted through the window, ruffling tiny ears and feathers, carrying the sweet scent of morning flowers and warm sunlight. Bugs nudged a block toward Daffy, who batted it back with a soft squeak. Tweety tried to catch it in mid-hop, but it tumbled gently past him, and Sylvester pawed at it with a soft rumble. The blocks tumbled and bounced slowly, creating a gentle, magical rhythm. Bugs hopped onto a soft pillow, looking down at the others with a tiny giggle. "Yeah, let's play hide and seek," he squeaked softly. Daffy flapped his wings in delight, waddling behind a crib, while Tweety hid beneath a small blanket, peeking out with wide, curious eyes. Sylvester crawled gently behind a soft chair, tail flicking lazily. The morning light streamed through the window, casting soft shadows that danced across the nursery floor. Each squeak, giggle, and gentle shuffle of paws or wings became part of the room's cozy melody. Jerry? Oh no, I mean Baby Bugs nudged a stuffed carrot across the floor, and Daffy waddled after it slowly, gently batting it back toward Tweety, who chirped in surprise, feathers fluffing. Sylvester rolled over, gently nudging a small ball that bounced softly between the tiny friends. A soft lullaby of wind, giggles, and gentle movement wrapped around the nursery, making the world feel safe, warm, and magical. Every little game, every soft tumble of a toy, every gentle squeak carried the comforting rhythm of sleepy joy. By the time the sunlight fully filled the nursery, the Baby Looney Tunes had woven themselves into a slow, peaceful, playful dance. Bugs hopped, Daffy waddled, Tweety chirped, Sylvester purred each movement, blending into the next, creating hours of gentle, cozy morning play. The nursery had grown warmer with the morning sun, the soft golden rays spilling across pastel walls and illuminating every corner of the room. The Baby Looney Tunes were busy exploring, each movement slow, careful, and full of gentle curiosity. Baby Bugs. Bunny hopped over to a soft basket of toys, tiny paws brushing over plush animals and blocks. He paused, picking up a small stuffed carrot, and nudged it gently toward Daffy Duck, who waddled softly to meet it, squeaking in delight but moving at a calm, leisurely pace. Tweety chirped from atop a pile of blankets, tiny wings fluttering gently while Sylvester rolled across the soft carpet, paws stretching lazily, eyes following the others with sleepy curiosity. The room smelled faintly of baby lotion, warm blankets, and the soft scent of morning flowers drifting through the open window. Bugs, with a tiny giggle, nudged the carrot toward a soft tower of blocks. Daffy waddled after it slowly, sending the blocks toppling gently in a cascade of soft thumps. Tweety hopped lightly to catch a falling block, but only nudged it with his tiny beak, letting it roll slowly across the carpet. Sylvester patted gently, nudging a soft pillow in the way of the rolling blocks, his purr vibrating softly with each nudge. The morning breeze floated through the room, ruffling feathers, ears, and tiny tufts of fur. Each squeak, giggle, and soft shuffle of paws blended into a peaceful melody, wrapping the nursery in gentle warmth. Bugs hopped atop a pile of cushions, looking down at Daffy, Tweety, and Sylvester with tiny, excited eyes. "Let's build a cozy castle," he squeaked softly. Slowly, carefully, they all began stacking pillows, blankets, and soft toys into a little fortress, each piece moving with the softest thumps and rustles. Daffy waddled to place a block on the top, squeaking quietly in concentration. Tweety hopped along the edges, balancing with tiny, precise steps, while Sylvester gently pushed a pillow into place, his soft purrs blending into the lullaby of the room. The castle grew slowly, tower by tower, pillow by pillow, until a cozy little fort took shape, glowing in the warm morning light. Bugs crawled inside first, peeking out with a soft giggle. Daffy waddled in behind him, followed by Tweety chirping softly, and Sylvester nestled against the back, curling up like a tiny warm cloud. Outside the window, the gentle morning breeze rustled the curtains and the soft leaves of nearby trees. Inside, the Baby Looney Tunes were tucked into their own magical little world full of soft, playful energy and peaceful joy. The morning sunlight bathed the nursery in a soft golden glow, making the pastel walls shimmer faintly. The Baby Looney Tunes were already awake and ready for a new stretch of gentle play. Their tiny giggles and soft squeaks floated in the air like a magical lullaby. Baby bugs. Bunny crawled over a soft rug, tiny paws sinking into the plush fibers as he hopped toward a pile of blocks. His long ears flopped lazily, catching the sunlight, while his green eyes twinkled with curiosity. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping gently, making little flap-flap sounds that mixed with Bug's soft squeaks. Tweety hopped along a row of cushions, tiny wings ruffling softly, chirping a happy little tune. Sylvester crawled after them, purring faintly as he explored the soft toys scattered around the room. Bugs nudged a small plush carrot toward Daffy, who batted it gently with his wing, sending it rolling slowly across the carpet. Tweety hopped to catch it mid-roll, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed at a cushion, sending it sliding into the middle of the little play space. The nursery was filled with soft, cozy sounds, tiny paws patting, gentle squeaks of excitement, and the faint rustle of blankets and toys. Every sound blended into a peaceful melody, wrapping the room in warmth and magic. Bugs climbed atop a small pillow mound and peeked down at his friends. Let's make a little parade," he squeaked softly. Daffy waddled behind him, wings flapping in a slow, playful rhythm. Tweety chirped excitedly and flapped along the edge of a blanket, while Sylvester followed gently, purring softly, keeping pace with the slow, cozy rhythm. They moved together in a gentle crawl, weaving between cushions, sliding over soft rugs, and rolling tiny plush toys along their path. Each movement was careful, slow, and playful, a perfect blend of curiosity and cozy fun. A gentle breeze drifted through the window, ruffling ears, feathers, and fur, adding a soft, natural rhythm to their parade. The sunlight glinted off tiny eyes and soft toys, making the room sparkle with warm, magical light. Bugs twirled gently in the center of the nursery, squeaking softly, as Daffy waddled around in circles. Tweety flitted along the edges, chirping a soft melody while Sylvester patted gently, his soft paws making barely a sound on the carpet. For a long stretch, they continued their gentle crawl and giggle parade, moving in slow, playful loops around the room. Every squeak, every soft thump, and every tiny shuffle blended together into a peaceful lullaby that filled the nursery with warmth and love. The morning light glimmered through the nursery window, soft and golden, creating gentle patches of warmth across the pastel-colored carpet. The Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a new adventure, their tiny hearts full of playful curiosity and soft giggles. Bunny crawled toward a pile of cushions and blankets, his long ears flopping lazily as he nudged a pillow into place. Daffy waddled beside him, softly squeaking and flapping his wings slowly, helping to stack a small blanket. Tweety chirped from atop a tiny pillow mound, flapping his wings in excitement, while Sylvester padded softly, pushing a cushion into the growing fort with gentle purrs. Bugs squeaked softly, "Let's make a magical castle!" And with tiny, careful paws they began stacking pillows and folding blankets into soft walls. Daffy waddled around, nudging blocks and plush toys into place, while Tweety hopped along the edges, balancing carefully to avoid toppling anything. Sylvester crawled behind, adding support with gentle paws, purring in contentment. The fort grew slowly but steadily, creating cozy nooks and tiny tunnels just big enough for their small bodies. The sunlight glinted softly off the pillows, making the fort sparkle faintly in the warm morning glow. Every soft thump, squeak, and shuffle of paws became part of the nursery's gentle rhythm. Bugs crawled inside the fort first, squeaking a tiny giggle of excitement. Daffy waddled in after him, chirping softly, while Tweety flitted along the soft walls, exploring every corner. Sylvester snuggled into a soft nook at the back, tail curled around him, eyes half closed but twinkling with playful joy. Outside the fort, blocks, blankets, and plush toys were scattered gently, each one part of the cozy playground they had built. The room smelled faintly of baby lotion, warm blankets, and the sweet morning air drifting through the open window. Bugs leaned over a small pillow and peeked at his friends. "We can hide and find," he whispered softly. Daffy waddled behind a blanket wall, squeaking with quiet excitement. Tweety peeked from a soft tunnel of blankets, and Sylvester rolled gently behind a plush toy, ready to join the playful game. The sunlight streaming through the window created soft, golden shadows, adding depth and magic to their tiny fort. Every squeak, shuffle, and soft thump echoed like a lullaby through the nursery. The nursery had settled into a warm, golden glow as sunlight spilled across the soft carpets and pastel walls. The Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a new, gentle adventure, a tiny treasure hunt full of curiosity, soft giggles, and cozy fun. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and hopped softly toward a basket of plush toys. Daffy waddled behind, flapping his tiny wings slowly, squeaking softly in excitement. Tweety perched atop a pillow mound, chirping a gentle tune, while Sylvester padded quietly on the carpet, purring softly with a curiosity. Bugs squeaked, "Let's find the hidden treasures," and carefully began looking around the nursery. Daffy waddled beside him, gently nudging soft toys with his wing, sending tiny blocks rolling slowly. Tweety flitted from cushion to cushion, scanning for treasures, while Sylvester peeked under a blanket, tail flicking lazily. The treasures were tiny and a shiny button, a small plush carrot, a soft toy block, all hidden carefully among pillows, blankets, and soft toys. Bugs hopped over a cushion, carefully lifting a pillow to reveal a tiny blue button. Daffy squeaked softly in delight, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped happily and balanced it on a pillow. Sylvester pawed gently at a small plush mouse tucked under a blanket, letting it tumble softly onto the carpet. The room filled with gentle giggles, tiny squeaks, and the soft patter of paws and wings moving slowly and carefully. The sunlight streaming through the window created soft golden pools on the floor, highlighting the tiny treasures and guiding their little search. Each discovery was met with quiet squeaks and soft laughter, blending perfectly into the cozy morning melody. Bugs hopped atop a pile of pillows, spotting a tiny plush carrot tucked between the cushions. He squeaked softly, "Treasure found," and nudged it toward Daffy, who waddled gently to place it in their growing collection. Tweety hopped in delight, chirping softly, while Sylvester rolled over a small blanket, revealing a hidden plush toy purring with contentment. The Baby Looney Tunes moved slowly, carefully, and playfully, each movement full of gentle curiosity and warm friendship. The soft breeze from the window ruffled their ears and feathers, adding a dreamy rhythm to their treasure hunt. The nursery glowed softly in the warm morning light, golden beams spilling over plush carpets and pastel walls. The Baby Looney Tunes were ready for another gentle adventure, a tiny, cozy tea party full of soft giggles and playful whispers. Baby Bugs, Bunny crawled toward a soft blanket spread across the floor where tiny cups, plates, and plush snacks were arranged carefully. Daffy waddled after him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking softly in delight. Tweety perched on a pillow, flapping wings gently and chirping in excitement, while Sylvester padded carefully, purring softly as he approached the little tea table. Bugs whispered softly, "Let's have a cozy tea party," and crawled to pour tiny pretend tea from a plush teapot into soft cups. Daffy waddled closer, carefully placing tiny plush cookies onto plates, squeaking softly in quiet excitement. Tweety chirped a happy little tune while arranging miniature napkins, and Sylvester nudged a plush carrot onto the blanket, tail flicking lazily. The nursery smelled faintly of warm blankets and the sweet morning air drifting through the open window. Each tiny giggle, squeak, and soft shuffle of paws and wings blended into a gentle lullaby, wrapping the room in cozy warmth. Bugs crawled to a small pillow and poured tea slowly into a tiny cup, while Daffy carefully passed the plush cookie to Tweety. Tweety hopped along the edge of the blanket, balancing it gently, and Sylvester pawed softly at a small cushion, moving it closer to the tea table. They sipped and nibbled gently, moving in slow, deliberate rhythm, savoring each moment. The sunlight cast soft shadows across the nursery floor, highlighting tiny giggles, careful movements, and the magical warmth of playful friendship. Bugs leaned back on a soft pillow, letting out a tiny squeak of delight. Daffy waddled in a small circle, chirping softly, while Tweety hopped lightly and Sylvester purred, settling comfortably beside them. Each movement, each squeak, each gentle rustle of blankets became part of the soft music of their morning. For a long stretch, they continued their tiny tea party, sipping, nibbling, and gently passing plush treats to one another. The soft breeze from the window added a rhythmic whisper, ruffling ears and feathers and blending seamlessly with their tiny giggles. The nursery glowed with warm morning sunlight, filling every corner with soft golden light. The Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a gentle, musical adventure, a tiny dance full of laughter, soft squeaks, and cozy rhythm. Baby Bugs, Bunny twitched his long ears and hopped toward a small toy piano, pressing a key softly with his paw. Daffy waddled closer, tiny wings flapping in gentle rhythm, squeaking happily. Tweety perched on a pillow, flapping wings in time with the soft music, while Sylvester padded to the corner, softly tapping a plush drum with his tiny paw. The room was filled with gentle melodies, the piano notes, soft squeaks of delight, tiny drum taps, and the occasional chirp from Tweety blending into a cozy, magical symphony. Every sound felt soft, warm, and perfectly suited to the calm morning. Bugs hopped from note to note on the piano, squeaking softly with each press. Daffy waddled in slow circles around him, flapping wings lightly, while Tweety bounced gently on a cushion, chirping in delight. Sylvester rolled a small plush ball across the floor, letting it bump softly into the toy piano, adding a playful rhythm. A gentle breeze drifted through the window, ruffling ears, feathers, and fur, carrying the soft, sweet scent of morning flowers. Each movement and sound blended into a warm, cozy lullaby that wrapped the nursery in peaceful magic. Bugs twirled softly on a cushion, tiny feet tapping in rhythm with the music. Daffy flapped and waddled alongside him, squeaking with quiet joy. Tweety hopped lightly, wings fluttering in time, while Sylvester patted gently, adding soft, muffled purrs to the melody. The morning light highlighted tiny giggles, soft movements, and the magical rhythm of their gentle dance. The nursery seemed to sway in tune with the Baby Looney Tunes, filled with warmth, love, and playful energy slowed to a peaceful tempo. For a long stretch, they continued their soft music and gentle dance, moving slowly and carefully, letting each note squeak and shuffle of paws flow into the next. The room was alive with tiny, cozy melodies and warm friendship. The nursery's warm sunlight spilled over the pastel walls, softly touching every blanket, cushion, and toy with golden hues. But today, the Baby Looney Tunes had a special plan, a slow, cozy exploration of the magical garden just outside the nursery window. The gentle morning breeze drifted in, carrying the scent of fresh grass, blooming flowers, and the tiniest hint of dew, baby bugs. Bunny hopped softly toward the window, his little paws pressing against the sill as he peered outside. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, flapping his tiny wings slowly in anticipation, squeaking quietly with gentle excitement. Tweety perched on a soft cushion, tilting his head, chirping softly at the sun-dappled flowers, while Sylvester rolled onto the carpet, his tiny paws stretching towards the warmth of the sunlight. Bugs whispered, "Let's go see the garden treasures." And with slow, careful movements, the little group made their way across the nursery floor. Every step was soft, deliberate, and full of wonder. Daffy waddled behind Bugs, bumping gently into a plush block, squeaking softly. Tweety fluttered along a line of pillows like a tiny golden feather, and Sylvester padded behind, purring a soft, rhythmic lullaby. Once outside through a safe, imaginary garden just at the nursery window, the Baby Looney Tunes began their gentle exploration. Soft green grass, represented by a pile of blankets, stretched beneath their tiny paws, swaying slightly with the breeze. Tiny flowers, plush toys in pinks, yellows, and blues, dotted the garden, and every squeak, chirp, and purr echoed through the air like the sweetest music. Bugs hopped toward a plush daisy, sniffing it softly, twitching his ears with the curiosity. Daffy waddled over to a soft toy sunflower, flapping his wings gently as if greeting it. Tweety chirped a tiny melody, hopping along a patch of grass, and Sylvester padded carefully, nudging a plush carrot hidden beneath a small blanket hill. The Baby Looney Tunes explored slowly, pausing often to admire the soft, magical details around them. The tiny plush butterflies, hovering quietly above the cushions, the soft, rustling leaves of a fabric tree, the gentle sparkle of morning dew, tiny beads sewn onto blankets. Each discovery brought soft squeaks, chirps, and purrs, wrapping the room in a gentle, peaceful rhythm. Bugs hopped onto a cushion hill, peeking over at his friends. "Look! A secret path!" he squeaked softly. Daffy waddled carefully along the imaginary path, flapping wings in tiny, excited motions. Tweety flitted lightly beside him, chirping softly, while Sylvester rolled gently along the side, tail flicking lazily with curiosity. The sunlight streaming through the window created soft golden patches on the nursery floor, illuminating the Baby Looney Tunes' playful movements. Bugs discovered a tiny plush ladybug nudging it softly toward Tweety. Tweety chirped in delight, balancing it on a cushion. Daffy waddled over and gently batted a plush butterfly across the garden, while Sylvester pawed softly at a tiny plush worm, sending it rolling slowly across the blanket grass. For a long, extended stretch, they continued their gentle garden exploration, moving slowly, carefully, and playfully. Each squeak, chirp, shuffle, and gentle tumble was part of a soft lullaby that filled the nursery with warmth, magic, and sleepy joy. The breeze, the sunlight, and their tiny, playful energy blended seamlessly, creating a long, cozy, immersive adventure. Finally, Bugs hopped onto a soft flower pillow, peering down at his friends. Daffy waddled beside him, wings flapping gently. Tweety perched on a nearby cushion, and Sylvester nestled into the softest corner, purring. The Baby Looney Tunes rested for a moment, tiny hearts full of warmth, laughter fading into the soft, sleepy whispers. The nursery glowed in a soft golden light, sunlight spilling gently over pastel walls and plush toys. Today, the Baby Looney Tunes had planned the most special adventure, yet a grand, gentle journey through their magical nursery, filled with soft discoveries, tiny treasures, and endless cozy play. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his ears and padded softly toward the center of the nursery, his little paws sinking into the plush carpet. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking with quiet delight. Tweety perched on a small pillow, flapping wings gently, chirping a happy tune, while Sylvester stretched luxuriously, tail curling around him as he padded along slowly. Bugs squeaked softly. Let's explore the entire nursery and find all the magic. And with tiny, careful steps, the group began their gentle journey. They started by climbing the Cushion Mountains, a giant pile of soft pillows that looked like miniature hills and valleys. Bugs hopped from pillow to pillow, squeaking softly, each leap cushioned perfectly by the plush softness beneath him. Daffy waddled slowly, flapping wings to keep balance, while Tweety hopped lightly, navigating the tiny peaks. Sylvester crawled gently, carefully pressing each paw down on the soft surfaces, purring quietly in rhythm with the gentle rustle of pillows. The sunlight streamed through the window, creating shimmering paths of gold across the cushions. Each step, each tiny squeak, each soft paw or wing movement became part of a magical melody, filling the nursery with warmth and playful joy. They paused often, admiring their surroundings, a plush toy rabbit hidden in a corner, a tiny blanket draped like a soft waterfall, and miniature blocks scattered as if marking secret paths. Bugs twitched his ears, eyes sparkling with excitement. Look! A hidden treasure under that cushion, he whispered. Daffy waddled closer, nudging the cushion gently, revealing a tiny plush carrot. Tweety chirped in delight, and Sylvester rolled the carrot carefully into their treasure pile, purring softly. After conquering the Cushion Mountains, the group crawled toward the Blanket River, a long, soft expanse of blankets laid across the nursery floor. Bugs hopped carefully from one fold to another, squeaking with gentle delight. Daffy waddled alongside, flapping wings slowly to maintain balance. Tweety glided over the folds like a tiny golden feather, while Sylvester padded quietly along the edge, tail flicking lazily. The Blanket River was magical. Small toys floated gently along its surface, creating soft ripples of sound as they nudged into folds. Bugs carefully guided a plush block along the river, watching it wobble softly before settling into a valley of fabric. Daffy helped push a tiny plush fish across the water, squeaking softly in concentration. Tweety hopped from one soft peak to another, chirping melodies of joy, and Sylvester pawed gently at a tiny plush frog, sending it bouncing lazily along the folds. At the far end of the nursery, Bugs discovered a soft tunnel made of cushions and blankets. "A secret tunnel," he whispered softly. Daffy waddled behind, chirping quietly with excitement. Tweety flitted above, exploring the tunnel's soft, shadowy nooks, while Sylvester crawled carefully through the tunnel, purring in contentment. Inside the tunnel, the floor was dotted with soft treasures, plush carrots, tiny blocks, and even a small plush ladybug. Bugs nudged each one gently, examining it carefully. Daffy flapped softly over them, nudging pieces into place for their growing collection of magical treasures. Tweety hopped lightly, balancing a tiny block on his head, while Sylvester pawed a plush frog gently, sending it rolling into a little nest of blankets. They moved slowly and carefully through the tunnel, exploring every fold and shadow, each squeak and giggle echoing softly like a lullaby. The sunlight streamed faintly through small gaps in the blanket walls, painting patches of golden light that danced with every tiny movement. Exiting the tunnel, the Baby Looney Tunes arrived at a giant pillow fort castle, built earlier but expanded now into a magical kingdom. Bugs hopped inside the castle first, squeaking softly, eyes twinkling. Daffy waddled after him, squeaking with quiet delight. Tweety perched on the top, chirping a tiny melody, while Sylvester curled up in a soft corner, tail twitching lazily. The castle had multiple rooms, a soft block chamber, a blanket canopy room, and tiny tunnels between pillows. Bugs led everyone through each room, discovering hidden treasures, gentle surprises, and soft textures. Daffy played with the plush toys along the walls. Tweety explored the ceiling of the fort by balancing on small cushions, and Sylvester pawed softly at each pillow, enjoying the gentle softness. Every squeak, flap, purr, and giggle became part of the magical rhythm of the castle. They moved slowly, carefully, and playfully, savoring each moment, stretching the adventure into hours of immersive, cozy fun. After exploring, the Baby Looney Tunes nestled together inside the soft castle, tiny bodies warm and cozy. Bugs twitched his ears sleepily. Daffy flapped his wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety chirped softly, and Sylvester purred a quiet lullaby. Sunlight spilled over them, wrapping the castle in golden warmth. For a long stretch, they rested among pillows, blankets, and plush toys, hearts full of warmth, small giggles fading into soft whispers, and the nursery filled with the magic of friendship, adventure, and cozy joy. Every gentle movement, a twitch of an ear, a flap of a wing, a soft paw shift, became part of a lullaby that could carry a little dreamer into the sweetest sleep. The nursery was bathed in the softest golden light, sunlight spilling gently across every corner, illuminating plush toys, pastel walls, and the soft folds of blankets and cushions. The Baby Looney Tunes were already awake, eyes sparkling with gentle curiosity, tiny ears twitching, little wings fluttering, and soft purrs vibrating in the calm, warm air. Today their adventure would stretch endlessly, full of magical discoveries, gentle giggles, and hours of slow, cozy play. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded softly across the carpet, tiny paws sinking into the plush fibers, each step deliberate and quiet. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping softly, squeaking quietly with excitement, but moving slowly, savoring every moment. Tweety hopped along the edge of a pillow, feathers ruffling slightly in the warm breeze drifting through the window, while Sylvester stretched luxuriously before padding gently behind, tail curling around him like a soft, sleepy ribbon. Bugs squeaked softly, "Let's find all the magic in the nursery today." And they began their gentle exploration. Every movement was slow, careful, and playful, each tiny squeak or purr blending into a soft lullaby. They hopped over blankets, crawled under pillows, nudged plush toys along the way, and occasionally paused to admire tiny treasures hidden among the soft folds of the nursery. There was a plush carrot, a miniature block, a tiny stuffed mouse, and even a little fabric butterfly that flitted gently in the morning light. Each discovery was greeted with soft giggles, gentle squeaks, or quiet chirps, creating a long, flowing melody of playful joy. The sunlight streamed across the room, highlighting every movement, casting golden shadows that danced slowly as the Baby Looney Tunes moved. Bugs hopped onto a small pillow, peering over the edge at Daffy, who waddled beneath him with careful, deliberate steps, squeaking softly. Tweety flitted between the folds of a blanket, chirping a tiny tune, while Sylvester rolled lazily over a soft cushion, pawing at a plush toy and letting it tumble gently into the next corner of the nursery. Hours of soft, immersive play passed like moments in a dream. They built pillow forts, stacked blocks, made soft tunnels, and crawled through blanket mountains. Each step was slow, each movement gentle, each sound a squeak, a chirp, a purr, a soft pat-pat of tiny paws blended into the soothing, magical rhythm of their endless adventure. The Baby Looney Tunes explored every inch of their cozy world. Bugs hopped along the edge of a cushion, discovering a hidden plush ladybug, nudging it softly toward Tweety, who chirped and balanced it on a pillow. Daffy gently pushed a tiny plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly in concentration, while Sylvester padded beside him, nudging soft blocks into neat little towers. The sunlight highlighted the treasures, making them sparkle faintly, while the gentle breeze from the open window ruffled feathers and fur, carrying the subtle scent of morning flowers and warm blankets. They discovered a tiny tunnel of blankets stretching from one end of the nursery to the other, crawling carefully through it, each squeak, chirp, and paw shuffle echoing like a soft, calming melody. Bugs led the way, peeking around corners, squeaking softly when he found a tiny treasure tucked into a fold. Daffy waddled behind, careful not to disturb the soft rhythm, while Tweety hopped lightly along the tunnel, wings flapping in quiet delight. Sylvester padded gently, tail flicking in calm, steady rhythm, purring softly with each careful step. After crawling through the tunnel, they emerged into a sunlit corner filled with plush toys, soft blocks, and little treasures scattered like tiny stars. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking in quiet delight, while Daffy waddled along the edge, gently nudging toys into new arrangements. Tweety flitted among the blocks, chirping softly, balancing tiny treasures on his head, and Sylvester pawed gently at plush friends, sending them rolling lazily across the carpet. Time seemed to stretch endlessly as they played. They discovered tiny blanket hills to climb, little cushioned valleys to tumble through, and secret pockets tucked behind the soft folds of the nursery. Bugs hopped, squeaked, and twitched his ears with gentle curiosity. Daffy waddled slowly with soft flaps and quiet squeaks. Tweety flitted and chirped in tiny melodies, and Sylvester padded and purred, adding his own gentle rhythm to the endless lullaby of play. Sunlight shifted across the room, casting warm golden beams and soft shadows that danced across every surface. The Baby Looney Tunes explored, discovered, built, crawled, and played, moving in slow, deliberate, cozy rhythm. They paused occasionally to rest, curling up together in soft piles of blankets and cushions, tiny hearts warm, bodies cozy, and eyes sparkling faintly in the golden light. Bugs rested his head on Daffy's back. Tweety snuggled near a pillow, and Sylvester curled into a soft ball, purring contentedly. The gentle breeze drifted through the window, carrying the sweet scent of flowers and fresh morning air, ruffling ears, feathers, and fur in soft, rhythmic whispers. Each movement, squeak, chirp, and purr blended perfectly into the lullaby of the nursery, a long, immersive symphony of playful friendship, cozy adventure, and gentle love. Hours passed like a gentle dream. They built soft forts, crawled through tunnels, discovered tiny treasures, and created an endless playground of pillows, blankets, and plush toys. Every discovery was celebrated with soft squeaks and gentle chirps. Every tumble was cushioned by the plush surfaces, and every quiet purr became part of the magical melody of the morning. Finally, after what felt like a full, endless journey of play and exploration, the Baby Looney Tunes nestled together in a giant pile of blankets, cushions, and soft toys. Bugs twitched his ears sleepily. Daffy flapped a few gentle wings before curling up. Tweety chirped a tiny lullaby, and Sylvester purred softly, tail wrapped around him. Sunlight spilled gently across them, wrapping their tiny bodies in warmth, golden light bathing the entire nursery in peaceful glow. The nursery glowed in soft morning light, golden and gentle, spilling warmth over every corner, every soft blanket, pillow, and plush toy. The Baby Looney Tunes were ready for another long, slow, immersive adventure, a day filled with endless gentle play, soft discoveries, and magical, cozy moments that could stretch on forever. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears, paws sinking into the plush carpet as he crawled toward a pile of cushions. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly in soft rhythm, squeaking gently with quiet excitement. Tweety perched atop a small pillow, flapping his wings in tiny, measured motions, chirping a melody that blended with the soft purrs of Sylvester, who padded quietly behind, tail curling around him like a silky ribbon. Bugs squeaked softly, "Let's explore the nursery like never before," and they began moving in a slow, careful journey across the plush-filled landscape. Each step, each paw, each wing flap, each tiny squeak became part of a long, magical rhythm that filled the nursery with warmth, joy, and the softest kind of wonder. The first stop was the Cushion Hills, mountains of plush pillows and soft blankets stacked high. Bugs hopped from one pillow to another, squeaking softly with delight, ears flopping lazily in the sunlight. Daffy waddled behind carefully, flapping wings slowly to maintain balance. Tweety hopped lightly over each peak, chirping softly, while Sylvester padded gently behind, purring in rhythm with the soft rustling of cushions beneath tiny paws. Every inch of the nursery became a playground. Bugs discovered a hidden plush ladybug nestled between two pillows, nudging it softly toward Tweety, who balanced it carefully on a tiny pillow. Daffy helped move a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed at a tiny plush frog, rolling it gently toward a soft pile of blankets. The sunlight spilled across the nursery floor, making every toy, pillow, and blanket glimmer faintly in warm, golden tones. They crawled slowly through blanket tunnels, soft folds forming secret passages and cozy hideaways. Bugs led the way, pausing at every corner to examine tiny treasures hidden among the folds. Tweety flitted above, chirping quietly, while Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking with gentle excitement, and Sylvester padded behind, purring softly. The tunnel seemed endless, magical in every way, filled with quiet giggles, soft rustles, and tiny squeaks. Next they reached the Pillow Fort Castle, a sprawling kingdom of blankets, cushions, and soft toys. Bugs twitched his ears excitedly as he hopped inside, squeaking softly. Daffy waddled behind, wings flapping in gentle rhythm. Tweety perched on the top, flapping softly, chirping tiny tunes, while Sylvester curled up in a soft corner, purring contentedly. Inside the fort, every corner was an adventure. Blocks were stacked carefully into towers, soft toys arranged in neat little rows, and tiny treasures tucked into nooks and crannies. Bugs explored each room of the fort, squeaking softly at every new discovery. Daffy carefully nudged plush toys into place. Tweety hopped along edges, and Sylvester pawed gently at pillows, adding his own cozy magic to the fort. Hours seemed to stretch like a dream as they played. They slid down soft blanket slopes, crawled through tunnels, discovered tiny plush treasures, and built new fort towers. Each movement was deliberate, slow, and full of quiet joy. The sunlight shifted gently across the nursery, highlighting each tiny discovery, soft giggle, and gentle shuffle. Eventually, the Baby Looney Tunes discovered a garden corner, blankets and pillows arranged like soft rolling hills, sprinkled with plush flowers and tiny toy insects. Bugs hopped softly among the plush blooms, twitching his ears in curiosity. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings gently, while Tweety hopped lightly from flower to flower, chirping in delight. Sylvester padded carefully among the hills, purring with contentment, as he nudged plush bugs and flowers with gentle paws. Time stretched lazily as they explored the cozy garden. They discovered plush ladybugs, miniature blocks hidden in blanket valleys, tiny toy butterflies, and soft plush worms. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs that blended into a gentle, continuous lullaby. Bugs carefully nudged each tiny treasure into a central pile. Daffy helped balance blocks, Tweety flitted above, and Sylvester pawed gently, making soft, rolling sounds. Eventually, they gathered together atop the largest pillow hill. Bugs twitched his ears sleepily. Daffy flapped wings softly in rhythm. Tweety chirped a tiny melody, and Sylvester curled up in a soft nook, tail wrapped around him. The sunlight spilled across their cozy bodies, and the gentle morning breeze ruffled ears, feathers, and fur, carrying the soft scent of blankets and flowers. For hours they rested and played in gentle rhythms, discovering new little nooks, treasures, and soft corners. Tiny giggles floated in the air, squeaks echoed softly, chirps chimed gently, and purrs vibrated like the bass of a quiet lullaby. Every soft shuffle of paws, tiny hop of wings, and twitch of an ear became part of an endless, soothing melody of friendship, play, and gentle, magical exploration. As the golden sunlight gradually faded into the softer tones of late morning, the Baby Looney Tunes snuggled together atop the largest blanket hill, eyes heavy with sleepy joy. Bugs nestled against Daffy, Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a warm, quiet ball. The nursery glimmered in soft light, every blanket, toy, and cushion holding the memory of long, cozy hours filled with gentle adventure. The nursery glimmered softly with golden morning light, stretching across pastel walls, plush carpets, and mountains of pillows and blankets. Today, the Baby Looney Tunes were ready for an adventure so long, so gentle, and so magical that it felt like it could stretch forever. Every moment wrapped in warmth, playful curiosity, and endless comfort. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded across the plush carpet, tiny paws sinking softly into the fibers. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, flapping his wings slowly, squeaking gently with excitement. Tweety hopped lightly across a pillow hill, feathers ruffling in the warm breeze drifting through the open window, while Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a silky ribbon, purring softly. Bugs squeaked softly. Let's discover every corner of the nursery today, and all its hidden magic. And with that, the group began a slow, careful journey across the vast, soft landscape of their magical playroom. Every movement, each paw step, wing flap, and twitch of an ear became part of a soothing melody of joy, wonder, and gentle curiosity. They first explored the Cushion Mountains, a vast, plush landscape of pillows stacked into hills and valleys. Bugs hopped carefully from peak to peak, squeaking softly, ears twitching in excitement. Daffy waddled behind, flapping gently to keep balance, while Tweety flitted lightly, chirping a tiny melody. Sylvester padded carefully, nudging pillows softly, and purring with delight. Hidden among the pillows were tiny treasures: plush carrots, miniature blocks, soft toy ladybugs, and little plush butterflies. Bugs discovered a small plush frog tucked behind a pillow, nudging it softly toward Tweety, who chirped with quiet delight. Daffy nudged a plush carrot into a blanket valley, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a tiny plush bird, sending it rolling gently across the carpet. Hours passed as they explored, crawling through blanket tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, and discovering secret nooks full of plush toys and little treasures. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking softly at every discovery, while Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety flitted along the edges of blankets, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded gently, adding his soft purrs to the melody of the nursery. The sunlight streamed through the window, shifting slowly across the room, casting golden beams on every cushion, blanket, and toy. Each shift of light highlighted tiny discoveries: a plush carrot tucked under a blanket fold, a toy block balanced precariously on a pillow, a little plush butterfly hovering faintly above the nursery floor. Every squeak, chirp, shuffle, and purr blended seamlessly into the long, soothing rhythm of play. After hours of gentle exploration, the Baby Looney Tunes discovered the magical garden corner, a vast expanse of blankets and pillows arranged like rolling hills, sprinkled with soft plush flowers and toy insects. Bugs hopped carefully among the blooms, twitching his ears at every new sight. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings in slow, playful rhythm. Tweety balanced on pillows, chirping happily, while Sylvester padded gently, purring as he nudged soft toys into neat little arrangements. They spent hours discovering the hidden magic of the garden: plush ladybugs, soft frogs, tiny blocks, toy butterflies, and even miniature plush mushrooms. Every new find was greeted with squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs, creating a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, adventure, and cozy wonder. Bugs nudged toys gently toward Tweety. Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester pawed softly at hidden treasures, rolling them carefully into a central treasure hill. As the sun rose higher, golden light spilling across the nursery floor, they built a grand pillow fort castle, complete with soft tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering cushion walls. Bugs led the way through the fort, squeaking softly at each corner. Daffy waddled behind, nudging plush toys into place. Tweety flitted along edges, and Sylvester padded softly, tail curling lazily, as he explored each cozy room. They played and explored slowly, gently, endlessly, discovering soft surprises in every corner. Tiny plush frogs under cushions, miniature blocks hidden behind blankets, soft toy carrots tucked into folds, and little fabric butterflies flitting gently over the floor. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and purrs that blended into a long, gentle melody, stretching the morning into a seemingly endless adventure. Eventually, they gathered at the top of the largest blanket hill, sunlight spilling over them in golden warmth. Bugs twitched his ears sleepily. Daffy flapped wings slowly before settling down. Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring contentedly. For hours they rested, played, discovered, and explored, each moment long, immersive, and filled with magical, gentle friendship. Time stretched like a dream as they continued to explore, building soft forts, crawling through blanket tunnels, discovering tiny treasures, and creating an endless playground of pillows and plush toys. Every soft shuffle, tiny hop, chirp, squeak, and purr blended into a long, immersive lullaby that could carry anyone watching into deep, peaceful sleep. The nursery glimmered with the softest golden light, streaming gently across walls, pillows, blankets, and plush toys. Every corner held magic soft folds, hidden treasures, tiny tunnels, and secret nooks waiting to be discovered. Today, the Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a journey so long and so gentle it felt endless. A stretch of cozy magic that could stretch for hours, filling hearts with warmth and eyes with sleepy delight. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded softly across the plush carpet, little paws sinking into the softness beneath him. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking quietly with excitement. Tweety perched on a cushion, hopping lightly, feathers ruffling in the gentle morning breeze drifting through the window. Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a soft ribbon, purring gently as he followed his friends. Bugs squeaked softly. "Let's explore the nursery like we never have before," and they began their slow, deliberate journey. Every movement, each paw step, wing flap, and ear twitch became part of a gentle lullaby of playful wonder. The first place they discovered was the Pillow Mountains, soft hills and valleys made of stacked blankets and cushions. Bugs hopped carefully from pillow to pillow, squeaking softly with excitement. Daffy waddled behind, flapping wings gently to maintain balance. Tweety hopped lightly along the edges, chirping a tiny melody, while Sylvester padded slowly, nudging pillows and purring with contentment. Hidden among the pillows were treasures. Plush carrots, miniature blocks, tiny plush frogs, soft ladybugs, and little toy butterflies. Bugs discovered a tiny plush frog tucked behind a cushion, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped with delight. Daffy helped roll a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a tiny plush bird, sending it rolling gently across the soft floor. Hours passed as they crawled through the blanket tunnels, slid down soft slopes, and discovered nooks full of tiny treasures. Bugs twitched his ears and squeaked softly at every find. Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety hopped along tunnels, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded and purred, each movement blending into the nursery's lullaby of joy. They found a magical garden corner, blankets and pillows arranged like soft rolling hills, sprinkled with plush flowers, toy insects, and little plush mushrooms. Bugs hopped slowly among the blooms, ears twitching at each new sight. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings slowly. Tweety balanced on soft pillows, chirping melodies, while Sylvester pawed gently at soft toys, nudging them into little arrangements. The Baby Looney Tunes explored the garden for hours, discovering hidden plush ladybugs, miniature blocks, soft frogs, toy butterflies, and tiny plush mushrooms tucked into blanket folds. Each discovery brought gentle squeaks, soft chirps, and quiet purrs. Bugs nudged toys toward Tweety. Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester pawed gently at hidden treasures, rolling them softly into a central treasure hill. Next, they built a giant pillow fort castle, with tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering cushion walls. Bugs squeaked softly as he led them through the fort. Daffy waddled behind, Tweety flitted along the edges, and Sylvester padded gently, tail curling around him. Every room held hidden treasures: plush frogs under cushions, miniature blocks tucked behind blankets, soft toy carrots in folds, and little fabric butterflies hovering nearby. They spent hours exploring the fort, playing gently, crawling through tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, and discovering new nooks and treasures. Each squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step blended into a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, comfort, and gentle adventure. Eventually, the Baby Looney Tunes gathered atop the largest blanket hill, golden sunlight spilling across their tiny bodies. Bugs nestled against Daffy. Daffy flapped wings slowly before settling. Tweety perched on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring softly. The nursery glimmered with warm light, each corner holding memories of long, gentle hours of playful exploration. For what felt like endless hours, they rested and played, discovering tiny treasures, building soft forts, crawling through tunnels, and enjoying the magical rhythm of their cozy, never-ending adventure. Every tiny squeak, chirp, and purr became part of a continuous lullaby, wrapping the nursery and everyone watching in warmth, magic, and sleepy delight. Finally, as the golden light shifted into a gentle afternoon glow, the Baby Looney Tunes snuggled together, tiny bodies soft, hearts warm, and eyes heavy with peaceful contentment. Bugs twitched his ears lazily. Daffy flapped wings softly. Tweety chirped a gentle tune, and Sylvester purred quietly, wrapping himself into a tiny ball. The nursery glimmered in the softest golden light, spilling warmth across pastel walls, plush carpets, and mountains of pillows and blankets. Today, the Baby Looney Tunes were ready for an adventure so gentle, so endless, and so magical that it could stretch for hours, a truly immersive, cozy world where every moment was filled with comfort, discovery, and playful joy. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and patted across the plush carpet, tiny paws sinking into the softness beneath him. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking softly with a quiet excitement. Tweety perched atop a soft pillow, hopping lightly, feathers ruffling in the gentle morning breeze drifting through the window, while Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a silky ribbon, purring gently as he followed his friends. Bugs squeaked softly. Let's explore every corner of the nursery and find all the hidden magic. And with that, they began their slow, careful journey. Each paw step, wing flap, and ear twitch became part of a gentle lullaby of playful wonder, stretching the nursery into an endless playground of cozy adventure. They first explored the towering Cushion Mountain's soft hills of pillows stacked into valleys and peaks. Bugs hopped carefully, squeaking softly, ears flopping in delight. Daffy waddled behind, flapping wings gently for balance. Tweety flitted along edges, chirping softly, while Sylvester padded carefully, nudging pillows and purring quietly. Hidden among the pillows were treasures: plush carrots, miniature blocks, soft toy frogs, tiny plush ladybugs, and little fabric butterflies. Bugs discovered a plush frog tucked behind a cushion, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped happily. Daffy helped roll a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a plush bird, letting it tumble lazily into a blanket valley. Hours passed as they crawled through blanket tunnels, slid down soft slopes, and explored secret nooks full of tiny treasures. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking softly at every find. Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety hopped along tunnels, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded and purred, each movement blending seamlessly into the nursery's lullaby. They discovered a magical garden corner rolling hills of blankets and pillows, sprinkled with plush flowers, soft toy insects, and tiny plush mushrooms. Bugs hopped slowly among the blooms, ears twitching with curiosity. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings slowly. Tweety balanced on pillows, chirping tiny melodies, while Sylvester pawed gently at soft toys, arranging them into little piles. Time stretched lazily as they explored the garden, discovering plush ladybugs, miniature blocks, soft frogs, toy butterflies, and tiny plush mushrooms tucked into blanket folds. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs, creating a long, immersive lullaby. Bugs nudged toys gently toward Tweety. Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester rolled hidden treasures into a soft central hill. Next, they built a colossal pillow fort castle, with tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering walls of cushions. Bugs led the way through the fort, squeaking softly at every corner. Daffy waddled behind, nudging plush toys into place. Tweety flitted along the edges, chirping tiny tunes, while Sylvester padded gently, tail curling around him. They spent hours exploring the fort, playing gently, crawling through tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, and discovering new nooks and treasures. Each squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step blended into a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, comfort, and gentle adventure. After the fort, they wandered into the infinite play meadow, a stretch of soft blankets and plush carpets that seemed to go on forever. Bugs hopped, squeaked, and twitched his ears at hidden plush treasures. Daffy waddled slowly, flapping wings, squeaking softly, while Tweety flitted and chirped, balancing small plush items on pillows. Sylvester padded gently, exploring folds of blankets, discovering tiny treasures hidden in secret nooks. Time passed in a slow, magical rhythm. They played, built forts, crawled through tunnels, discovered plush treasures, and tumbled down soft blanket slopes. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step was part of the nursery's lullaby, stretching the adventure into what felt like an endless, dreamy world. Eventually, they gathered atop the largest pillow hill, golden sunlight spilling over them in warm, comforting light. Bugs nestled against Daffy. Daffy flapped wings softly before settling. Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring quietly. They rested for hours, tiny hearts full of warmth, bodies soft and cozy, eyes heavy with peaceful contentment. The nursery glimmered in a soft golden light, stretching across pastel walls, plush carpets, and mountains of pillows and blankets. Every corner whispered magic hidden nooks, secret tunnels, plush treasures, and soft folds waiting to be explored. Today, The Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a journey so gentle, so endless, and so magical that it could stretch for hours upon hours, a fully immersive, cozy world where every moment radiated warmth, discovery, and playful joy. Bowie Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded softly across the plush carpet, little paws sinking blissfully into the softness beneath him. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking gently with quiet excitement. Tweety perched atop a cushion, hopping lightly, feathers ruffling in the warm morning breeze drifting through the window, while Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a silky ribbon, purring softly as he followed his friends. Bugs squeaked softly. Let's explore every corner of the nursery and discover all the hidden magic. And with that, they began their slow, deliberate journey. Each paw step, wing flap, and ear twitch became part of a gentle lullaby, a playful wonder, stretching the nursery into an endless playground of cozy adventure. They first wandered to the cushioned mountains, soft hills, and valleys of stacked pillows. Bugs hopped carefully from peak to peak, squeaking softly, ears flopping lazily in delight. Daffy waddled behind, flapping wings gently to maintain balance. Tweety flitted along edges, chirping soft melodies, while Sylvester padded carefully, nudging pillows and purring in contentment. Hidden among the pillows were treasures: plush carrots, miniature blocks, tiny plush frogs, soft ladybugs, and little fabric butterflies. Bugs discovered a tiny plush frog tucked behind a cushion, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped with delight. Daffy helped roll a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a plush bird, letting it tumble lazily across the soft floor. Hours passed as they crawled through blanket tunnels, slid down soft slopes, and explored secret nooks full of tiny treasures. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking softly at every find. Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety hopped along tunnels, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded and purred, each movement blending seamlessly into the nursery's lullaby. Next, they explored the magical garden corner, rolling hills of blankets and pillows sprinkled with plush flowers, soft toy insects, and tiny plush mushrooms. Bugs hopped slowly among the blooms, ears twitching with curiosity. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings slowly. Tweety balanced on pillows, chirping tiny melodies, while Sylvester pawed gently at soft toys, arranging them into little piles. Time stretched lazily as they explored the garden, discovering plush ladybugs, miniature blocks, soft frogs, toy butterflies, and tiny plush mushrooms tucked into blanket folds. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs, creating a long, immersive lullaby. Bugs nudged toys gently toward Tweety, Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester rolled hidden treasures into a soft central hill. After that, they built a colossal pillow fort castle, complete with tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering cushion walls. Bugs led the way through the fort, squeaking softly at each corner. Daffy waddled behind, nudging plush toys into place. Tweety flitted along the edges, chirping tiny tunes, while Sylvester padded gently, tail curling around him. Each room contained hidden treasures: plush frogs under cushions, miniature blocks tucked behind blankets, soft toy carrots in folds, and little fabric butterflies hovering nearby. They spent hours exploring the fort, crawling through tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, discovering plush treasures, and building tiny forts within the fort. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step blended into a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, comfort, and gentle adventure. Eventually, they wandered into the infinite play meadow, a stretch of soft blankets and plush carpets that seemed to extend forever. Bugs hopped, squeaked, and twitched his ears at hidden plush treasures. Daffy waddled slowly, flapping wings softly, squeaking quietly. Tweety flitted and chirped, balancing small plush items on pillows while Sylvester padded carefully, discovering tiny treasures hidden in secret nooks. Time seemed to stretch endlessly. They played, built forts, crawled through tunnels, discovered plush treasures, and tumbled down soft blanket slopes. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step became part of the nursery's lullaby, creating hours of immersive, dreamlike joy. Finally, they gathered atop the largest pillow hill, sunlight spilling over them in a warm golden light. Bugs nestled against Daffy. Daffy flapped wings softly before settling. Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring quietly. For hours they rested, played, discovered, and explored, hearts full of warmth, bodies soft and cozy, eyes heavy with peaceful contentment. As at night, the nursery glimmered with golden sunlight that spilled softly across pastel walls, plush carpets, and mountains of pillows and blankets. Every corner held magic hidden tunnels, secret nooks, plush treasures, and folds of blankets waiting to be explored. Today the Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a journey so gentle and endless that it felt like it could stretch forever, a fully immersive world where each moment radiated warmth, curiosity, and playful joy. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded softly across the plush carpet, tiny paws sinking blissfully into the softness beneath him. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking gently with quiet excitement. Tweety perched atop a pillow, hopping lightly, feathers ruffling in the gentle morning breeze drifting through the window, while Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a silky ribbon, purring softly as he followed his friends. Bugs squeaked softly. Let's explore every corner of the nursery and find all the hidden magic. And with that, they began their slow, careful journey. Each paw step, wing flap, and ear twitch became part of a gentle lullaby of playful wonder, stretching the nursery into an endless playground of cozy adventure. They wandered first to the cushioned mountains, soft hills, and valleys of stacked pillows. Bugs hopped carefully from peak to peak, squeaking softly, ears flopping lazily in delight. Daffy waddled behind, flapping wings gently to maintain balance. Tweety flitted along edges, chirping soft melodies, while Sylvester padded carefully, nudging pillows and purring in contentment. Hidden among the pillows were treasures: plush carrots, miniature blocks, tiny plush frogs, soft ladybugs, and little fabric butterflies. Bugs discovered a tiny plush frog tucked behind a cushion, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped joyfully. Daffy helped roll a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a plush bird, letting it tumble lazily across the soft floor. Hours passed as they crawled through blanket tunnels, slid down soft slopes, and explored secret nooks full of tiny treasures. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking softly at every find. Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety hopped along tunnels, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded and purred, each movement blending seamlessly into the nursery's lullaby. Next, they discovered the magical garden corner, rolling hills of blankets and pillows, sprinkled with plush flowers, soft toy insects, and tiny plush mushrooms. Bugs hopped slowly among the blooms, ears twitching with curiosity. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings slowly. Tweety balanced on pillows, chirping tiny melodies, while Sylvester pawed gently at soft toys, arranging them into little piles. Time stretched lazily as they explored the garden, discovering plush ladybugs, miniature blocks, soft frogs, toy butterflies, and tiny plush mushrooms tucked into blanket folds. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs, creating a long, immersive lullaby. Bugs nudged toys gently toward Tweety. Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester rolled hidden treasures into a soft central hill. After that, they built a colossal pillow fort castle, complete with tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering walls of cushions. Bugs led the way through the fort, squeaking softly at each corner. Daffy waddled behind, nudging plush toys into place. Tweety flitted along the edges, chirping tiny tunes, while Sylvester padded gently, tail curling around him. Each room contained hidden treasures, plush frogs under cushions, miniature blocks tucked behind blankets, soft toy carrots in folds, and little fabric butterflies hovering nearby. They spent hours exploring the fort, crawling through tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, discovering plush treasures, and building tiny forts within the fort. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step blended into a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, comfort, and gentle adventure. Eventually, they wandered into the infinite play meadow, a stretch of soft blankets and plush carpets that seemed to extend forever. Bugs hopped, squeaked, and twitched his ears at hidden plush treasures. Daffy waddled slowly, flapping wings softly, squeaking quietly. Tweety flitted and chirped, balancing small plush items on pillows, while Sylvester padded carefully, discovering tiny treasures hidden in secret nooks. Time seemed to stretch endlessly. They played, built forts, crawled through tunnels, discovered plush treasures, and tumbled down soft blanket slopes. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step became part of the nursery's lullaby, creating hours of immersive, dreamlike joy. Finally, they gathered atop the largest pillow hill, sunlight spilling over them in warm, golden light. Bugs nestled against Daffy. Daffy flapped wings softly before settling. Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring quietly. For hours they rested, played, discovered, and explored, hearts full of warmth, bodies soft and cozy, eyes heavy with peaceful contentment. The nursery shimmered in soft golden sunlight, cascading gently across pastel walls, plush carpets, and mountains of pillows and blankets. Every nook held magic secret tunnels, hidden corners, plush treasures, and soft folds waiting to be discovered. Today, the Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a journey so gentle, so endless, and so magical that it could stretch forever. An immersive world where every moment radiated warmth, curiosity, and playful joy. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded softly across the plush carpet, tiny paws sinking blissfully into the softness beneath him. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking gently with quiet excitement. Tweety perched atop a pillow, hopping lightly, feathers ruffling in the gentle morning breeze drifting through the window, while Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a silky ribbon, purring softly as he followed his friends. Bugs squeaked softly. "Let's discover every magical corner of the nursery today." And with that, they began their slow, careful journey. Each paw step, wing flap, and ear twitch became part of a soothing lullaby of playful wonder, stretching the nursery into an infinite playground of cozy adventure. They wandered first to the cushioned mountains, soft hills, and valleys of stacked pillows. Bugs hopped carefully from peak to peak, squeaking softly, ears flopping lazily in delight. Daffy waddled behind, flapping wings gently for balance. Tweety flitted along edges, chirping soft melodies, while Sylvester padded carefully, nudging pillows and purring in contentment. Hidden among the pillows were treasures: plush carrots, miniature blocks, soft toy frogs, tiny plush ladybugs, and little fabric butterflies. Bugs discovered a tiny plush frog tucked behind a cushion, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped joyfully. Daffy helped roll a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a plush bird, letting it tumble lazily across the soft floor. Hours passed as they crawled through blanket tunnels, slid down soft slopes, and explored secret nooks full of tiny treasures. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking softly at every find. Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety hopped along tunnels, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded and purred, each movement blending seamlessly into the nursery's lullaby. They discovered the magical garden corner rolling hills of blankets and pillows, sprinkled with plush flowers, soft toy insects, and tiny plush mushrooms. Bugs hopped slowly among the blooms, ears twitching with curiosity. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings slowly. Tweety bounced on pillows, chirping tiny melodies, while Sylvester pawed gently at soft toys, arranging them into little piles. Time stretched lazily as they explored the garden, discovering plush ladybugs, miniature blocks, soft frogs, toy butterflies, and tiny plush mushrooms tucked into blanket folds. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs, creating a long, immersive lullaby. Bugs nudged toys gently toward Tweety, Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester rolled hidden treasures into a soft central hill. After that, they built a colossal pillow fort castle, complete with tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering walls of cushions. Bugs led the way through the fort, squeaking softly at each corner. Daffy waddled behind, nudging plush toys into place. Tweety flitted along the edges, chirping tiny tunes while Sylvester padded gently, tail curling around him. Each room contained hidden treasures: plush frogs under cushions, miniature blocks tucked behind blankets, soft toy carrots in folds, and little fabric butterflies hovering nearby. They spent hours exploring the fort, crawling through tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, discovering plush treasures, and building tiny forts within the fort. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step blended into a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, comfort, and gentle adventure. Eventually, they wandered into the infinite play meadow, a stretch of soft blankets and plush carpets that seemed to extend forever. Bugs hopped, squeaked, and twitched his ears at hidden plush treasures. Daffy waddled slowly, flapping wings softly, squeaking quietly. Tweety flitted and chirped, balancing small plush items on pillows, while Sylvester padded carefully, discovering tiny treasures hidden in secret nooks. Time seemed to stretch endlessly. They played, built forts, crawled through tunnels, discovered plush treasures, and tumbled down soft blanket slopes. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step became part of the nursery's lullaby, creating hours of immersive, dreamlike joy. Finally, they gathered atop the largest pillow hill, sunlight spilling over them in a warm, golden light. Bugs nestled against Daffy. Daffy flapped wings softly before settling. Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring quietly. For hours they rested, played, discovered, and explored, hearts full of warmth, bodies soft and cozy, eyes heavy with peaceful contentment. The nursery glimmered in soft golden sunlight, spilling warmth over pastel walls, plush carpets, and mountains of pillows and blankets. Every nook held magic, secret tunnels, hidden corners, plush treasures, and soft folds waiting to be explored. Today the Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a journey so gentle, so endless, and so magical that it felt like it could stretch forever, a fully immersive world where each moment radiated warmth, curiosity, and playful joy. Baby bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded softly across the plush carpet, tiny paws sinking blissfully into the softness beneath him. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking quietly with excitement. Tweety perched atop a cushion, hopping lightly, feathers ruffling in the gentle breeze drifting through the window, while Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a silky ribbon, purring softly as he followed his friends. Bugs squeaked softly. "Let's explore every corner of the nursery and find all the hidden magic." And with that, they began their slow, careful journey. Each paw step, wing flap, and ear twitch became part of a gentle lullaby of playful wonder, stretching the nursery into an infinite playground of cozy adventure. They wandered first to the cushioned mountains, soft hills, and valleys of stacked pillows. Bugs hopped carefully from peak to peak, squeaking softly, ears flopping lazily in delight. Daffy waddled behind, flapping wings gently for balance. Tweety flitted along edges, chirping soft melodies, while Sylvester padded carefully, nudging pillows and purring in contentment. Hidden among the pillows were treasures: plush carrots, miniature blocks, soft toy frogs, tiny plush ladybugs, and little fabric butterflies. Bugs discovered a tiny plush frog tucked behind a cushion, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped joyfully. Daffy helped roll a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a plush bird, letting it tumble lazily across the soft floor. Hours passed as they crawled through blanket tunnels, slid down soft slopes, and explored secret nooks full of tiny treasures. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking softly at every find. Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety hopped along tunnels, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded and purred, each movement blending seamlessly into the nursery's lullaby. They discovered the magical garden corner rolling hills of blankets and pillows sprinkled with plush flowers, soft toy insects, and tiny plush mushrooms. Bugs hopped slowly among the blooms, ears twitching with curiosity. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings slowly. Tweety balanced on pillows, chirping tiny melodies, while Sylvester pawed gently at soft toys, arranging them into little piles. Time stretched lazily as they explored the garden, discovering plush ladybugs, miniature blocks, soft frogs, toy butterflies, and tiny plush mushrooms tucked into blanket folds. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs, creating a long, immersive lullaby. Bugs nudged toys gently toward Tweety, Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester rolled hidden treasures into a soft central hill. After that, they built a colossal pillow fort castle, complete with tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering walls of cushions. Bugs led the way through the fort, squeaking softly at each corner. Daffy waddled behind, nudging plush toys into place. Tweety flitted along the edges, chirping tiny tunes, while Sylvester padded gently, tail curling around him. Each room contained hidden treasures: plush frogs under cushions, miniature blocks tucked behind blankets, soft toy carrots in folds, and little fabric butterflies hovering nearby. They spent hours exploring the fort, crawling through tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, discovering plush treasures, and building tiny forts within the fort. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step blended into a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, comfort, and gentle adventure. Eventually, they wandered into the infinite play meadow, a stretch of soft blankets and plush carpets that seemed to extend forever. Bugs hopped, squeaked, and twitched his ears at hidden plush treasures. Daffy waddled slowly, flapping wings softly, squeaking quietly. Tweety flitted and chirped, balancing small plush items on pillows, while Sylvester padded carefully, discovering tiny treasures hidden in secret nooks. Time seemed to stretch endlessly. They played, built forts, crawled through tunnels, discovered plush treasures, and tumbled down soft blanket slopes. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step became part of the nursery's lullaby, creating hours of immersive, dreamlike joy. Finally, they gathered atop the largest pillow hill, sunlight spilling over them in warm, golden light. Bugs nestled against Daffy. Daffy flapped wings softly before settling. Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring quietly. For hours they rested, played, discovered, and explored, hearts full of warmth, bodies soft and cozy, eyes heavy with peaceful contentment. The nursery glimmered in soft golden sunlight, spreading warmth across pastel walls, plush carpets, and mountains of pillows and blankets. Every corner held magic hidden nooks, secret tunnels, plush treasures, and folds of blankets waiting to be explored. Today the Baby Looney Tunes were ready for a journey so gentle, so endless, and so magical that it could stretch forever, the ultimate immersive world where each moment radiated warmth, curiosity, and playful joy. Baby Bugs. Bunny twitched his long ears and padded softly across the plush carpet, tiny paws sinking blissfully into the softness beneath him. Daffy Duck waddled beside him, wings flapping slowly, squeaking gently with quiet excitement. Tweety perched atop a pillow, hopping lightly, feathers ruffling in the gentle morning breeze drifting through the window, while Sylvester padded quietly behind, tail curling like a silky ribbon, purring softly as he followed his friends. Bugs squeaked softly. Let's discover every magical corner of the nursery today. And with that, they began their slow, careful journey. Each paw step, wing flap, and ear twitch became part of a soothing lullaby of playful wonder, stretching the nursery into an infinite playground of cozy adventure. They wandered first to the cushioned mountains, soft hills, and valleys of stacked pillows. Bugs hopped carefully from peak to peak, squeaking softly, ears flopping lazily in delight. Daffy waddled behind, flapping wings gently for balance. Tweety flitted along edges, chirping soft melodies, while Sylvester padded carefully, nudging pillows and purring in contentment. Hidden among the pillows were treasures, plush carrots, miniature blocks, soft toy frogs, tiny plush ladybugs, and little fabric butterflies. Bugs discovered a tiny plush frog tucked behind a cushion, nudging it toward Tweety, who chirped joyfully. Daffy helped roll a plush carrot across a blanket river, squeaking softly, while Sylvester pawed a plush bird, letting it tumble lazily across the soft floor. Hours passed as they crawled through blanket tunnels, slid down soft slopes, and explored secret nooks full of tiny treasures. Bugs twitched his ears, squeaking softly at every find. Daffy waddled carefully, squeaking and flapping wings in gentle rhythm. Tweety hopped along tunnels, chirping tiny songs, while Sylvester padded and purred, each movement blending seamlessly into the nursery's lullaby. They discovered the magical garden corner, rolling hills of blankets and pillows, sprinkled with plush flowers, soft toy insects, and tiny plush mushrooms. Bugs hopped slowly among the blooms, ears twitching with curiosity. Daffy waddled beside him, flapping wings slowly. Tweety balanced on pillows, chirping tiny melodies, while Sylvester pawed gently at soft toys, arranging them into little piles. Time stretched lazily as they explored the garden, discovering plush ladybugs, miniature blocks, soft frogs, toy butterflies, and tiny plush mushrooms tucked into blanket folds. Each discovery brought squeaks, chirps, and soft purrs, creating a long, immersive lullaby. Bugs nudged toys gently toward Tweety, Daffy helped stack blocks, and Sylvester rolled hidden treasures into a soft central hill. After that, they built a colossal pillow fort castle, complete with tunnels, cozy nooks, and towering walls of cushions. Bugs led the way through the fort, squeaking softly at each corner. Daffy waddled behind, nudging plush toys into place. Tweety flitted along the edges, chirping tiny tunes, while Sylvester padded gently, tail curling around him. Each room contained hidden treasures. Plush frogs under cushions, miniature blocks tucked behind blankets, soft toy carrots in folds, and little fabric butterflies hovering nearby. They spent hours exploring the fort, crawling through tunnels, sliding down soft slopes, discovering plush treasures, and building tiny forts within the fort. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step blended into a long, immersive lullaby of friendship, comfort, and gentle adventure. Eventually, they wandered into the infinite play meadow, a stretch of soft blankets and plush carpets that seemed to extend forever. Bugs hopped, squeaked, and twitched his ears at hidden plush treasures. Daffy waddled slowly, flapping wings softly, squeaking quietly. Tweety flitted and chirped, balancing small plush items on pillows, while Sylvester padded carefully, discovering tiny treasures hidden in secret nooks. Time seemed to stretch endlessly. They played, built forts, crawled through tunnels, discovered plush treasures, and tumbled down soft blanket slopes. Every squeak, chirp, purr, and paw step became part of the nursery's lullaby, creating hours of immersive, dreamlike joy. Finally, they gathered atop the largest pillow hill, sunlight spilling over them in warm golden light. Bugs nestled against Daffy. Daffy flapped wings softly. Before settling, Tweety perched gently on a soft pillow, and Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring quietly. For hours they rested, played, discovered, and explored, hearts full of warmth, bodies soft and cozy, eyes heavy with peaceful contentment. The nursery glimmered in a soft amber glow, sunlight fading slowly into a mellow golden hue. Pillows, blankets, and plush toys formed cozy nests in every corner, inviting tiny paws and wings to snuggle, rest, and relax. Baby bugs, Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tweety, and Sylvester were all nestled in their favorite spots, tiny bodies soft, eyes half closed, hearts full of gentle joy. Bugs twitched his ears lazily, letting out tiny squeaks of contentment. Daffy flapped his wings softly, settling against a mountain of pillows. Tweety chirped a slow, lullaby-like tune, while Sylvester curled into a tiny ball, purring quietly. The nursery was calm, every sound a gentle whisper, every movement soft and slow. They exchanged tiny gestures. Bugs nudged Daffy. Tweety hopped lightly toward Sylvester, and Daffy's quiet squeaks blended with the soft purrs and chirps of everyone. Each interaction was slow and gentle, a soft reminder of the bonds they had nurtured throughout the day-long adventure. Every paw step and flap of a wing was measured, deliberate, part of the nursery's slow, rhythmic heartbeat. They began sharing their tiny treasures one last time: plush carrots, miniature blocks, soft frogs, and little toy butterflies. Each item was placed carefully into a soft pile in the center of the nursery, creating a tiny, magical display reflecting the warmth of their long, gentle adventures. Bugs hopped softly around the pile, ears flopping with delight. Tweety perched on the edge, chirping tiny, melodic notes, while Daffy and Sylvester nudged the toys into cozy arrangements. The treasures sparkled faintly in the amber light, casting soft, warm shadows across the blankets and pillows. Every movement was slow, gentle, and deliberate, as though the nursery itself were breathing with them, wrapping them in comfort. The group began slow, playful stretches, tiny hops, wing flaps, gentle paw rolls, and soft tumbles down small blanket slopes. They explored familiar corners once more, crawling through blanket tunnels and nestling into tiny nooks they had discovered during their day-long adventures. Every squeak, chirp, and purr blended seamlessly into a quiet lullaby that wrapped the nursery in comfort. Shadows lengthened, the golden light softened further, and a gentle warmth filled every inch of the room. Bugs twitched his ears in soft delight. Daffy flapped his wings lazily. Tweety chirped softly in a melodic rhythm, and Sylvester purred quietly, tail curled snugly around himself, and even the smallest movements, a paw reaching for a plush, a wing stretching, a twitch of ears became part of the room's serene symphony. They gathered atop the largest pillow hill, snuggling close together. Bugs nestled against Daffy, whose soft flaps created tiny breezes that tickled their friends. Tweety perched delicately on a pillow beside them, chirping soft, flowing tunes. Sylvester curled into a cozy ball, purring deeply. The room was filled with tiny sounds of comfort, quiet squeaks, soft chirps, gentle purrs blending into a calm, rhythmic lullaby that seemed to stretch infinitely. They rested their heads on the softest pillows, their bodies sinking into the plush comfort of the nursery. Every glance and every small movement was a slow, deliberate act of love and warmth. The nursery became a cocoon, a sanctuary where nothing rushed, nothing startled, only gentle, cozy moments filled the air. Soft, slow play continued, each action more relaxed than the last. Gentle pillow stacking, quiet rolling of plush toys, and tiny waddles across the nursery floor took place in deliberate, unhurried rhythms. Bugs twitched, Daffy flapped lazily, Tweety chirped, and Sylvester purred a harmonious symphony of coziest sounds. They shared quiet giggles, gentle nudges, and tiny soft taps with each other. Each gesture was meaningful, a small reassurance that they were together, safe and surrounded by love. The sunlight faded further into warm amber and soft shadows, and the nursery seemed to stretch endlessly around them, forming a safe, magical space where time itself slowed. Finally, they all settled into their favorite cozy spots. Plush toys were tucked gently around them, blankets wrapped snugly, and every tiny detail of the nursery seemed to hum with warmth and contentment. Bugs twitched his ears in the softest delight. Daffy flapped lazily one last time before settling. Tweety chirped the slowest, most melodic tune, and Sylvester purred deeply, completely relaxed. Their little bodies and hearts were cocooned in comfort, their minds drifting gently as if floating on clouds. The gentle lullaby of the nursery, the faint squeaks, tiny chirps, soft purrs, and rustling of plush toys carried on softly, creating the perfect backdrop for dreamy, endless relaxation. The room seemed to breathe with them, every corner radiating warmth, love, and gentle magic. Time slowed even further, stretching the moments of quiet, soft joy, creating a golden cocoon that wrapped the Baby Looney Tunes in unending comfort. And as the amber light melted into a deeper, golden dusk, they all nestled completely into their cozy nests, eyes closing slowly, ears twitching in the gentlest contentment, and hearts beating in calm, rhythmic harmony. Bugs, Daffy, Tweety, and Sylvester all together, all safe, all wrapped in warmth, drifted further and further into soft, dreamy sleep. The nursery alive with the gentle, everlasting rhythm of love, friendship, and infinite cozy magic. This was the perfect ending, a soft, endless, warm outro, a whole hour of the coziest, gentlest, most comforting peace, the kind that wraps around your heart and lets your soul sigh in contentment. Okay, my buddy. Before you drift completely into dreamland, Sleepy Toons wants to wish you the sweetest, coziest good night. May your dreams be filled with gentle giggles, soft cuddles, and endless warmth. Close your eyes, snuggle your favorite plush, and let your heart float in comfort. Good night, little one. Sleepy Toons loves you.